The tragic trajectory of 17-year-old Noah Scurry represents the devastating intersection of academic potential and the inescapable gravity of Philadelphia's, quote, drill wars. On paper, Noah Scurry was a model student, a scholar who held high SAT scores and served as the captain of the varsity basketball team. However, Noah was raised in an active urban war zone practically, experiencing the profound cumulative trauma of losing at least 7 close friends to the city's relentless gun violence during his formative years. This environment forged a brutal survival mechanism, leading the promising athlete to adopt the alter ego, Baby Joker, to regain a sense of control and project danger.
You like my bitch? She turn you on? Wait until you try to run, I'll put this button on. This nigga asked how to get respect. I told him catch a body. He dropped his fries and fuck school gang. They left his brains beside him. Reason why they throwing fives and then they end up dying. They keep asking why he couldn't get up. I mean he wasn't trying. But alright, fuck that murder shit. Come on, we can switch the topic. Fast break can't get no layups, but the last one I laid on his back. He tried to run the block. He got his burner, but he ain't shooting back.
He plunged into the digital trenches of the city's drill rap scene, affiliating with the Frankfurt-based Parkside Certified Clappers. Scurry weaponized his online presence, utilizing diss tracks and music videos to express his rage and taunt rival groups like M24 and Fast Break, and build status in an ecosystem that rewards those who stand on business.
Breaking overnight, Philadelphia police, they're trying to figure out how a running car is related to the murder of a man in the city's Tacony section. The victim was in his 20s. Someone found him shot and killed here at the intersection of Longshore and Dittman just before midnight. A car was about 50 feet away with its engine running and its passenger door wide open, but nobody was inside. Now police are trying to determine how that car is connected to the city's latest killing.
That nigga thought he was getting away into that chopper hit him. You would've thought we was golden gloves the way we boxed that nigga. That nigga took a picture with the ops, so we had to crop the picture. That nigga felt like he was drunk, but not off shots.
This nigga said he's smoking banks, wait till we get up with him. They keep saying nobody claim a zine, but they all know who did it. Ain't got no pics, drill out the fist, but it's better when it's tenant. Mitch, I played it on that floor and then that burner kissed him. You ain't gon' jump from out this V, so nigga don't get in it. Dickhead said he shot me in my legs and now a nigga crippled. And I'm advanced, I get a drop, don't need no team, I come and get you. Nigga try to catch the bus, they got up on him, super zippy. We throw first up for the guys and got the biddy cracking fives. They say he already had his gun while he ain't up, man, no time. Lil' smart ass peeped the blitz, he tried to duck, at least he tried.
Top true, he say he see I he getting sent. Ever since Lil Harley died, we been a nerdy since. Let them turkey butts clap, ain't seen a nigga stop this blitz. Y'all make distance and get back, we catch bodies and send hit.
We in them cars from afar, but we in broad day. Let me get a drop on white boy, gon' turn a murder maid. God think it's that slick, but I know where he stay. If I don't got no V, use our feed me and God today.
We like R&F the way that we be pushing the bed. Fucking Cosman Pitch, Watson's Pogo, Dick Row TV. This Glock does not wreck, can't fuck with missions. Bills 15 running wild. Spanking shit all in the east. The way cracking high.
See what they block about. On a lick, he shots on fishy. This little dick, he gets it up. I could talk about them jokes, but niggas know what's up with us.
New at 11, I don't want to die. Witnesses describe the horrifying attack inside a Center City subway.
The station was shut down for about an hour and a half today, from 3:30 to 5 o'clock. Right over there in that open area, witnesses say that's where the victims were found. They were bleeding all over the place. Those 2 boys right now are in critical condition. They've been sent to the hospital. Witnesses can't believe what they saw.
It was like a big hole right here in the middle of his neck. He had blood like a little bit on his shirt, a little bit. And the other kid had blood coming all down his shirt.
It's still hard for 15-year-old Quam Pettigrew to talk about what he saw this afternoon. He was there at 8th and Market at the SEPTA station when 2 17-year-old boys were stabbed several times in the neck and chest.
I just saw the kid swing and hit the kid right here in his neck. And like, It just happened like real fast, everything.
Some commuters say it was like a scene out of a horror movie. They tell NBC 10 one of the boys was walking around disoriented, not knowing at first where he was stabbed. Just tell me kind of what you saw when you were walking through.
Oh, well, I seen an argument, and the argument turned into a bloodbath.
Officers guarded the station during the busy afternoon commute. They believe a teen boy and teen girl hopped an eastbound train and got away. A routine afternoon trip to the dentist for Pettigrew has now turned into an unforgettable day.
He was saying, I just don't want to die right now. I really don't want to die.
Guys, I really chase niggas out there shoes for 6 years. Niggas say it won't kill me cause I'm on the news. At least I'm alive, your man died and he was on there too. How the fuck I ran? I ain't describe niggas. Mark called me a rat and then you got shot quicker. Nah, Millie dissed me and got shot, I know it hurt. All that rat shit out the window if you ain't got no paperwork. Know the nigga for the poor, I made him send the paper first. I hate this one out so bad, when you die, my penis hurt. Out, here for really ratted on me, he picked me out. Hopped out, hit a op, now I ain't ICU. Why you lag? I told you I was gonna shoot when I see you.
None of my ops get more money. I already know how we carrying it. Wait, this was in. This ain't no fake bread. These was really talking about fake pulls, nigga. What's this? This shit got a. Hold on. Props only. Hold up, though. And it's still free hom. Ain't no rap cap. Oh, nigga. Ain't no rap cap. Bitch ass niggas. Fuck y'all niggas, man. Y'all be coming.
The geography of Northeast Philadelphia is a complex grid of working class neighborhoods, but between 2017 and 2025, certain intersections within Alny, Oxford Circle, and Frankfurt became localized war zones. This wasn't random violence. It was driven by an ecosystem of drill rap and internet exposure accelerated the death and violence we see on YouTube and Instagram. In 2024, the U.S. Surgeon General declared gun violence a public health emergency. The psychological devastation extends far beyond the immediate victims. A 2025 national study found that 20% of respondents reported a mass shooting occurring in their own community. Even more compelling was the finding that victims of targeted street violence, what we know as, quote, gang violence, experienced the most severe long-term psychological distress, with approximately 40% facing persistent post-traumatic stress disorder. In Northeast Philly, entire blocks were transformed into battle zones, effectively held captive by violent feuds in which many innocent victims played no part. At the center of this localized war was a 17-year-old named Noah Scurry. To his teachers at Samuel Fells High School, he was an academically gifted advanced placement or AP student who held the highest SAT scores in his class. To his mother and father, he was a deeply caring son. But Noah Scurry lived a dual existence. In the digital trenches of Philadelphia's drill rap scene, he was known by the alias Baby Joker, heavily affiliated with a Frankfurt-based group known as Parkside or the Double C's, as well as another group called the Pavement Boys. The exact geographical layout of this ward is a little complicated to explain. The borders are dictated by specific intersections, high schools, and rec centers, while the alliances are heavily influenced by larger Philadelphia-specific loyalty codes. Cousins and family members often find themselves beefing with each other only because of these loyalty codes. Most conflicts these days are fueled by what I like to call a music to murder pipeline or a murder to music pipeline. Either way works. Groups like Fast Break and Alny and the Certified Clappers in Frankfurt weaponize social media. In the drill subculture, as is well documented on this channel, shootings are referenced to clinically as scrimmages or basketball games, and a successful homicide is tracked as a slam dunk or a point. These groups taunted each other across the internet, in school, and in the neighborhood. If you were involved, there was really no escaping it. It turned geographical boundaries into immediate kill zones. The Alny-Longcrest axis. This is primarily where the most high-profile violence in 2024 and 2025 took place, heavily driven by a generational torch passing from older factions to volatile YNs. Let's start with M24. M24's territory is deep in Alny streets. Key affiliates like G12 Zai, One Brody, Lil Mook, and Ajon AJ Jackson, as well as Justin Twin 5 Porter, are the most known out of the group. They are closely aligned with the North Philly Blumberg set. Their primary historic beef is with Logan Valley, or LV, culminating in the 2020 murder of Ashim Shimo Chansey at the Logan/Alny border at 8th and Lindley.
The warrant was served here at 1429 West Alny Avenue. While the SWAT officers were inside the property executing a search warrant while on the second floor, they were confronted by a male with a gun who pointed the gun at SWAT officers. One SWAT officer discharged his weapon. He did not strike the male. There was a female in the room who did sustain an injury to her buttocks, but at this point we don't believe it was a result of a gunfire. We are still investigating that. So as of right now, that's all we have. We have our also involved shooting team here conducting an investigation, and they are working with our district attorney's office.
So warrants.
Zaire Butler, or G12 Zai, was born in February of 1999 in North Philadelphia before he moved to Charlotte, North Carolina around the age of 5. While in North Carolina, his mom ended up getting arrested when he was only 10 years old. Due to not liking the slow life of North Carolina and his mother's newfound living situation, he had to move back up to Philadelphia with his dad. Zaire ended up dropping out of King High School in Germantown.
Oh shit. He gotta go to school, Red.
This will be one in a series of bad decisions by G12 Zai. In July of 2021, G12 was arrested in Alny when a SWAT team went to a house on the 1400 block of Alny Avenue to serve an early morning arrest warrant. The suspect was Zaire Butler, or G12 Zai, and he was the second suspect wanted in relation to a shooting that happened a few months earlier at a Wawa in Cheltenham Township. In my very first episode of Rap Lyrics That Really Happened, I talked about G12 Zai, and here's what I had to say then.
No, my mama pray for me, ain't never worked no 9 to 5. My dog's call collected, I seen the call and I pressed 5. I lost Jay, that shit wrong tears to my...
G12 Zai, aka Mr. Top Tier, aka Fab Baby, is a rapper from the Alny section of Philadelphia. G12 Zai is from 12th and Grange and is known for his sing-songy style, with songs talking about all of his street crimes and dissing his ops. G12 Zai is playing a dangerous game with his aspiring music career. In 2022, Zai signed a deal with independent Philadelphia label Dope Records. Earlier that same year, he was released from prison after serving some months on gun charges. Zai mainly beats with LV or Logan Valley and Parkside. Ashim Chansey, or Shimo, was a young man who was cool with a lot of Logan Valley members, like STVPhilly and D Rose. On Saturday, December 5th, just after 2 a.m., 19-year-old Ashim Chansey, or Shimo, found himself at the Natural Restaurant at North 8th and Lindley Avenue. Ashim was ambushed as he went on a midnight food run.
In the case of a teenager shot dead inside of a takeout restaurant this past December. Here's Rick Williams with tonight's Crime Fighters report.
In the overnight hours on Saturday, December 5th, 19-year-old Ashim Chansey found himself at the Natural Restaurant at North 8th and Lindley Avenue in Philadelphia's Nicetown neighborhood. At 2:18 a.m., police were called for a report of a person with a gun. When they arrived, they found Chansey suffering from multiple gunshot wounds on the floor inside the restaurant.
He was immediately transported in a radio control car to Albert Einstein Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead by medical personnel.
The city of Philadelphia is offering up to 20.
G12 has a habit of dissing Shimo on his biggest songs, Losing Me, over 500K views.
Them Johnnies like they hot wheels, shoot them pilots like they rapes. We don't never pass no L, we smoke Lil Shimo to the face.
I Go, over 600K views.
Sippin' lean, I'm dreaming. I take drugs, I'm fighting demons. I see Shimo beat him. Speaking with lemons, you know I'ma squeeze him.
Gangsta Party, over 1 million views.
They caught him lacking in that store and put him in a box. We did some drills and ghost stocks.
Which is made worse by the fact that this is how most people in Philadelphia come to hear the name Shimo. It's from a diss song. Hasheem Chancey's friends and family remember him as a loving athlete.
For that case in 2021, G12 was arrested and bail was set at 10% of $250,000. At first, G12 paid his bail, but then it was increased to $750,000 in November. Why? Because in between when he was bailed out in July and when his bail was raised to that 10% of $750,000 in November, there was that infamous video when G12's eye was on Instagram Live on October 27th, 2021.
The nurse, they go red, y'all. They go red. I ain't taking my shit off.
Oh, that's definitely red, bro. He's ready to run.
Custody, Jeremiah Porter's in custody, Kevin Williams, and G12 Zob. And we have 4 bodies, 4 guns right now. Oh, all right. 50 got away. I think we're actually 6.
I got it. Yeah, is there any more gloves in that trunk?
He was arrested along with Lonnie and Maya Glizzy. After G12 was arrested, he was charged with possession of drugs with intent to deliver, which is a felony, and firearms not to be carried without a license, which is also a felony. He also caught an escape charge, which is a felony. I guess the escape charge was running from police once they had him in custody. I wasn't there, I don't know exactly what happened for him to catch that escape charge. I was under the impression that you had to be in police custody for an escape charge. But anyway, as far as the first arrest with the SWAT officer, some of the charges were withdrawn for some reason, only to be refiled a few months later. This was the more serious of the 2 cases, as this one involved a charge that is called aggravated assault, fear of imminent bodily injury, or SBI, of a designated person. What this charge means, basically, is that you make a terroristic threat towards an officer. In January of 2022, this was one of 5 charges that were withdrawn, only to be refiled a few months later, like I said. After all the smoke cleared, in January of 2024, G12 Zah pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 1.5 to 3 years confinement on that aggravated assault terroristic threats charge, 6 years probation on the firearms not to be carried without a license charge, and 6 years probation for the drugs as part of the refiled charges. And also 2.5 to 5 years incarceration on the firearm not to be carried without a license. To recap, in July of 2021, G12 was arrested and faced 5 charges, and also in October of the same year, while out on bail, he caught another case, which was caught on his own Instagram Live. So unless I'm reading this wrong, G12 got 2.5 to 5 years basically, plus the 6-month probation for all the firearms and terroristic threats. If that is indeed the case, it is once again so sad to see someone with actual talent. He was signed to a record label at one point, throw it all away. I blame a lot of it on the drugs these kids use to drown out the pain.
I'm fried. And if I get hit, I'm still gonna be alive because I'm so high right now. So if I get hit, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get hit, but I'm gonna be on some Scarface shit because I'm gonna feel it, but I'm gonna be so high, I'm not gonna feel it for real. So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have time to shoot back or get active. I'm gonna be so I'm making it to the hospital still. That's why I love this shit, because I'm acting. I be all the time. So if I get shot or something like that, I'm going to still be able to just get me and get active right back with y'all niggas. Ain't no way. If y'all shoot me in my pocket, it ain't going to go through, because I always got this fat-ass monkey man in my pocket. So it ain't going to go through all the way. The bullet going to get stuck in the middle of my money somewhere.
Fast Break are who the cops call the successors of M24. The same general borders and territories around Alny is where Fast Break operates, with some operating along the Rising Sun Ave and West Alny Ave area. Fast Break young bulls evolved from older iterations like the Jump Out Gang, the Headshot Gang, and TSN, all from that little area. They are essentially the younger, more reckless successors to M24, as I said. Aiden Waters or A-Boy, Anal Bugs or Nolly, Lil Ryan or L.O., and Jamiah Carter or Motto are the main faces of this group. They're known as being highly mobile. They utilize the Cheltenham border to acquire stolen Kias and Hyundais and deploy into Longcrest and Ogons to do their drive-by shootings. Logan Valley, who we just mentioned earlier, is not really a big part of this story, but they're mostly from the Logan section bordering Alny. When you hear M24 dissing Shimo and people like that, this is who they're talking about. The Frankfurt and Oxford Circle Theater, just east of Alny, a completely separate but equally devastating war dictates the streets around Frankfurt High School and the Oxford Circle grid. The certified clappers, or double C's, also sometimes called Parkside, come from the Frankfurt section, heavily concentrated around Frankfurt High School. Key affiliates are Noah, Baby Joker Scurry, Hardy, Quafor, Brady, and Lil Wani, who passed way back in 2017. The double C's are deeply aligned with Zoo Gang and Pentown. Their primary war is against Full House, but their drill rappers frequently mock M24's dead members like Twin 5 and AJ. Full House / HarleyVille come out of Oxford Circle in the lower Northeast. They renamed themselves HarleyVille following the tragic 2021 murder of 11-year-old Harley Balance on McKinley Street. Lil J, known as White Boy or Chucky, SMG Nas, are among others who frequently rap about this beef. Locked in a vicious war with the Clappers / Parkside, HarleyVille is marked by extreme YN behavior. Between the heavy faction territories lie what we'll call transitional neighborhoods like Summerdale, Tacony, and specific Oxford Circle blocks. These areas are mostly 100% innocent people, except you might have a few members of these gangs we just talked about who live in this area. And this is where the Wackers / Pavement Boys came from. At first, they were heavily targeted by Fast Break. People like Chris Dowling and No Pics are from this area. In fact, the ambushes on Chris Dowling and before him, Bobby Yoakum, on these neighborhood borders act as specific catalysts for massive retaliations like the bus stop shootings, which we'll talk about. Figures like No Pics, like I said, operated out of this specific area and would steal cars and provide weapons to the Pavement Boys as early as 2023. If I had to describe this war, I would describe it something like a proxy conflict. While the localized beefs like Fast Break versus the Wackers and the Clappers versus HarleyVille and the Clappers versus M24 are deeply personal and tied to specific blocks, they are heavily backed by bigger and more well-known citywide gangs like Zoo Gang and Blumberg. When a double C affiliate like Noah Scurry gets the backing of Pentown or M24 aligns with the Blum, the local block disputes are suddenly amplified by citywide clout, a wider social media reach, and heavier weaponry.
Alright, know this shit not funny either, feel me? Ain't nothing fun about the streets, ain't nothing fun about losing homies, nothing. Just listen, bro, it's all pain.
That's enough of this drill shit, it's time to give you pain now. Remember we was kids, just was playing in that playground. Now Warzone, the same spot we used to play around. Homies taking drugs just to make it do their day now.
Lil Kwani was born in April 2002 in Philly. Juan went to Edmonds and then Simon Grat. He played football with the Bulldogs, a sport he loved the most while maturing and gaining many friends with his great sense of humor. After graduating from Gratz in June of 2020, Juan decided to continue his education at the Community College of Philadelphia, studying healthcare. Juan was full of life, and his love and loyalty for his family and friends was unmatched. That was what his obituary read after his death. There was also another side to Juan, or Wani, as his friends knew him, that wasn't mentioned in the obituary. He had friends that now go by the Clappers, who are young boys who live all around Frankfurt High in the Frankfurt section of the city. Their main rappers are Hardy, Qua, and Brady at the moment. Brady is doing a 25 to 50 year sentence on an unrelated murder.
Make me mad, pull up my mask. When we bump, that shit get bad. Shoot until he crash, real fast. Do me do the dash. Drilling ain't been fun no more. My dog might not see the sun no more. Close your blinds and like it, doors. We spinning by Lil Wani. I miss my guy. They got me fried. They gon' die, they keep on speaking on my dog. They gon' die, they keep on
The Clappers beef with Full House, where the young boys today call it HarleyVille, after 11-year-old Harley Balance was killed while riding his bike. Harley wasn't your average 11-year-old, led down the wrong path by teens a few years older than him, who themselves were out here running the streets. Anyone with eyes could see Harley's fate was not going to end well. With immigrant parents, Harley and his parents could barely relate culturally. With the parents who grew up in a whole different country and their customs on one side, and the street life that was alluring to Harley on the other. Harley barely had a chance to figure out how to even make this decision. At only 11 in 5th grade, Lil Har, as his friends called him, is probably one of the saddest cases I had to cover.
So Shayna, Commissioner Outlaw says that the kids were out here riding a bike up and down the block behind me when someone came out on foot and fired shots. At this hour, they still don't know why, but they are searching, of course, for evidence as they continue to search for whoever did this. So let's take a closer look at the scene here. It's some video that we were able to get moments ago. Police say the call came in around 6:30 this evening about shots fired. They got to the 1500 block of McKinley Street in Oxford Circle and found an 11-year-old boy, as Shayna mentioned, shot in the neck. He was initially listed in critical condition, they say, when officers took him to the hospital, but he has since died. The 14-year-old he was on the bike with was shot in the arm and leg. That 14-year-old boy is in stable condition, we're told right now. Commissioner Outlaw was on scene and says the boys were riding a bike up and down the block. It is unclear whether it's a regular bike or a moped, but that's when someone fired shots.
It's the first step towards justice for the family of an 11-year-old boy who was shot and killed in Philadelphia's Oxford Circle. Now, overnight, authorities charged the suspect who was wanted in the boy's shooting death. Eyewitness News reporter Jan Caraballo is live this morning at police headquarters with more details on this story. This is just so awful. Jan, good morning to you.
A terrible story to report, and we keep reporting stories just like this. Janelle, good morning. The homicide unit here certainly has its hands full this year. Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw just yesterday reporting 120 homicides in the city of Philadelphia to date, and 15 of them were just children. Now, as you mentioned, police getting closer to bringing justice. For one Oxford Circle family, a suspect is now under arrest and facing multiple charges, including murder, for the shooting death of an 11-year-old boy. Harley Balance is being remembered today as a kid who loved to do what kids do, play basketball. And his father tells Eyewitness News he was good at it too.
He was a big basketball player. He shot 3 points. Yeah, only 3 points.
But more than that, even at just 11 years old, family says Harley was a helper, lending a hand when neighbors needed it most.
Oldest people, when they come to do the, when they come back to shopping, I mean, he used to, hold the bags.
On Friday night, Harley's life was cut short. Gunned down while riding his motorized scooter on the 1500 block of McKinley Street in Oxford Circle.
When I go to the hospital, after like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, they pronounced my son was dead.
Yesterday, police identified their suspect as Khalik Cooper Baldwin, and the 19-year-old turned himself into police just hours later. Arraigned overnight, he's now facing murder and weapons charges. But for Harley's parents, an arrest in their son's death is just the beginning. Their son's dreams of becoming a lawyer or businessman never to be realized.
I just asked justice. Justice for my boo-boo. I need justice.
Now, there was another child with Harley at the time of this shooting, a 14-year-old boy who was also shot and injured. He is expected to be okay. And sources tell Eyewitness News that they believe the 14-year-old was the intended target and Harley was just an innocent bystander. Reporting live outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters, Jan Carabeo, CBS 3 Eyewitness News. Back into you.
Just heartbreaking. Thank you, Jan. Appreciate it.
This that new pack that like behind the woods. Vacuum seal when I'm betting on the ops. I like old behind the wood, bro, she taking it to trial. He don't wanna do the deal. When he come home, he try and run it up and touch a mill. When I tap the button, I told school, it's an instant kill. I think Bushy going crazy, he put a button on the mill. Throw in JD, throw it off. All they wanna do is drill, don't talk that body shit with us. They know who put on for the Ville. Said when get over, go ask your homie about the switch. Broski hopped out on feet and put a Vicky on the list. Very ranked player, he caught a body, ain't got a assist. They said how we flipped that Malibu, we launched him through a bitch. I told them they bring that yop out. They made another, did I get and we got him through a track. Better learn from Ace away, better learn from the last bull who died outside his crib. Better learn from the last bull who died from trying to tap. If I was BGC, I would've called a B, they made a diss. I can't die inside a car, I can't ride without 10.
For Noah Scurry, the digital posturing became a violent reality long before his final day. On May 28, 2023, gunfire erupted on the 4600 block of Mulberry Street. Scurry, then just 15 years old, was shot multiple times alongside with two other teenagers. They survived, but an innocent 66-year-old bystander named Ivan Hall was struck in a crossfire and killed.
66-year-old man is dead and 3 teens are hurt following a shooting last night in Frankfurt. It happened just before 9:30 on the 4600 block of Mulberry Street. The man who died has been identified as Ivan Hall from Philadelphia. 3 15-year-old boys are in stable condition after being shot. Police have not given any more details on what may have led to the gunfire. As of yet, no arrests have been made.
This is technically a mass shooting event, but beyond that, it perfectly illustrates the violence detailed earlier in the public health reports that can scar communities that are mostly innocent. For the purposes of this video, we're going to start the timeline all the way back in 2016. In October of 2016, a shooting occurred at approximately 9 p.m. on the 3100 block of Sterling Street near Hawthorne Street. Quantico Brunson was walking with a group of friends when a white sedan pulled up. A man dressed in all black exited the passenger side and opened fire on the group. Quantico was fatally wounded and died shortly before 10 p.m. at Jefferson Frankfurt Hospital. The 16-year-old he was with suffered a gunshot wound to the chest/stomach, and he survived in critical condition. The 21-year-old he was with suffered wounds to the neck and collarbone, and he walked to the 15th Police District for help, and he ended up surviving as well.
Hi, Vi. Just moments ago, we obtained exclusive video that shows you what happened just before and after gunshots rang out here on the street near this alleyway. Now take a look at this surveillance videotape. Witnesses tell us you see at least 2 of the victims talking to people outside a corner store. Notice a white car pulls up. The group then walks at least a half a block away near Sterling and Hall.
Detectives and family members suggested the conflict may have originated from a verbal dispute on Facebook. Police recovered a revolver at the scene, though ballistic tests show the 6 spent shell casings found nearby were incompatible with that specific gun, suggesting multiple shooters or additional weapons were involved. As of 2026, the case of Quantico Brunson was still listed as an unsolved murder by the Philadelphia Police Department. Tico, as he was known, was the oldest of 5 children and was homeschooled while working at a Wendy's on Cotman Ave. He had inspirations of attending Temple University to study engineering and was known in his neighborhood for being a, quote, free spirit who often helped elderly neighbors with groceries. Quantico's profile mirrors the tragic duality seen later with Noah Scurry. At just 16, like I said, probably innocent with the exact opposite lifestyle of Noah Scurry, but faced the same tragic ending. While this incident falls significantly outside the primary 2020 through present day timeline that we are mostly focused on in this video, the 2016 murder of Quantico Brunson serves as an early tragic blueprint for how the violence in these neighborhoods would eventually evolve.
I got a feeling for you. I get in my bed. I know you see me calling. Why won't you answer that? Girl, you got it bad all the times I made you mad. Rainy days that made you sad. Sunny days, remember that. I got a feeling for you. I get in my bed. I know you see me calling. Why won't you answer that?
Another earlier driver of violence was the case of Messiah Bam Shiverton and his murderer, Muhammad Ham Good. In October 2017, police experienced a devastating citywide spike in youth gun violence marked by deeply emotional courtroom volatility. On October 11, 2017, 18-year-old Muhammad Good was ordered to stand trial for the murder of 16-year-old Messiah Shiverton following a shooting on the 2100 block of McGee Ave in Oxford Circle. Good's defense narrative was heavily shaped by his mother's public claims that her son had been actively bullied by teens in the week leading up to the fatal encounter, and the tension surrounding the case was so severe that the opposing sides nearly came to fisticuffs inside the courtroom during his preliminary hearing, prompting an emotional reaction from the judge. Good was ordered to stand trial on 1 count of murder as well as 2 counts of attempted murder for firing at 2 of Messiah's friends. The mother of Muhammad Ham Good said at the time that her son had been bullied by the other teens, who was a Frankfurt High School junior, and his friends. They terrorized the kids, she said in an interview in 2017. It was fight or flight for her son, Muhammad Good, as she saw it. Messiah Shiverton, in the chaos that day, was shot in the head and died 4 days later.
Police say a high school student shot last week in Northeast Philadelphia has passed away from his injuries. 16-year-old Messiah Shiverton has been in critical condition since the shooting last Wednesday. He was shot in the head on the 2100 block of McGee Avenue during a fight with other teenagers. Police arrested 18-year-old Muhammad Good. He's facing a number of charges, including attempted murder, which will now likely be upgraded.
Smoking on big, got me lifted. I get it medical with his prescription. Free on your boy, go crazy, smacking the ass. I think she my lady. 30 on me, shit bang like the Navy. Moving the crack, you would think it's the 80s. Up in the store, these niggas they high. And how bull dead, but nobody slide.
Or should I wear this Uzi with my low top?
Let's run it up.
I'll just wear these then.
Let's talk about ours. It's like 5 dead niggas in this pocket. I hit one cause he that he could stop us. We sent some rockets. Another one got hit right in his top. That dummy tried to run. The XD was fast enough to stop him. He felt the fire. Nigga, do you think that I'm a liar? Go ask his family friends. They keep on crying. They never slide. They really hiders. Bam laid on the scene like he was tired. Bro up the blicking. Took him out the game like he had sliders. That shit was fire. That shit was fire.
The social media catalyst years before Fast Break and the Double C's would weaponize drill rap and Instagram. Detectives and family members link Bam Shiverton's death to a verbal dispute that originated in high school. This is a foundational example of online posturing leading into immediate physical violence in that area.
I'm about to show y'all where 5 died at. 5 died right over here. 5 died right there. Loafing with that fucking platter. I will not go out like 5. I got bitches asking who I'm smoking. No bad. Hey, Maji, where you at, Maj? He said, I hope I don't gotta make a video on you, bro. Hey, listen, bro. Hardy is gonna stay alive forever. You feel me? I'm always with a button. I always got button with me. You feel me? I'm not going out like these niggas. I'm good on my block. Wallahi, I'm good. You feel me? And there's no cops out here. It's a perfect time for y'all to slide. Wallahi, this shit is gonna get turned over on whoever. Perfect time to slide. I'm walking on the edge. This is your time to slide. I'm telling y'all where I'm at. Just know, them buttons is around, nigga. I whooped young boy ass. Remember 12, cousin nobody never took my burner a day in my life. Cut all the false rumors out. I whooped 12 ass in the jails. Wallahi on my son.
don't drink soda, sip the lean straight out the pint. Tell bro, pipe down, the bag gon' come tonight. Fight, you gotta pick your shitty ass up with a doggy bag. Thought y'all was the get back gang, so nigga, why you mad? Doty up is crazy cause that nigga got a twin. Nigga said I'm high, but I'm really outside with my friends. I got 5 on it that my homies, they gon' step. I got 5 on it that them boys ain't getting back. I got 5 on it that my wrist gon' stay protect. I got 5 on it that we leaving niggas stretched.
On March 26, 2021, at approximately 5:11 p.m., 18-year-old Justin Porter, also known as Twin 5 or Jay, was found laying in the street with numerous gunshot wounds across his body on the 4700 block of Oxford Ave in Frankfurt. Officers transported him to Temple University Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 5:39 p.m. As of early 2026, his death remains an unsolved murders with no arrests at this point. The Philadelphia Obituary Project noted that Justin Porter was among the many young men lost during that year. The location of the shooting on Oxford Ave borders the Olney and Feltonville areas, where Amir Timms was killed in December of 2020. Justin Porter's death occurred roughly 3 months after Tamir's murder, fitting directly into the rapid escalation of retaliatory violence seen throughout late 2020 and early 2021, which was slowly ramping up the violence and the beef.
Acting crazy with the brodies, then you know you getting shot. We don't play around here, perks out the block. They don't want no drama, cause we squeeze llamas. Spin through his whole strip and we can't find him. Roll the window down, it's a drink, now you flying. Bitches on that whole shit, so we gon' line them. Hit him 2 times, yeah, that's 2 for $1.
Let's get it strict, we don't care who claiming right. You know smoke your brother, step in my pack. Let's play a game, let's see who's stuck the best. Rush him to the spittle in the scene, that's where he tech. Brody got some aim, ain't wasting bullets out the strap. Only shot 2 times, one hit his head, one hit his chest. Got your homies making pain songs, this shit is getting tragic. Niggas ain't no shit, heard he died with his ratchet. HarleyVille can eat a dick, pussy boys not even active. I don't care about no age, this and bam can lead the casket. Bitch, I'm big op, you know I'm worth a couple points. Brody swing his dreadlocks, he hop out clapping shit with joy. Making videos on my block, that shit is played, flush your Glock.
Within the broader conflict, Twin 5's name frequently appears in the same social media memorial circles as other victims tied to the M24 vs. Double C beef, and his death is heavily utilized by groups to justify subsequent, quote, get back. The crime scene analysis establishes early patterns of chaotic, what police call multi-weapon engagements. While police recovered a revolver at the scene, ballistics tests proved the 6 spent shell casings found nearby were completely incompatible with that firearm, indicating multiple shooters or unrecovered guns were involved in the ambush.
Before we picked up all them guns, I used to beat copping enough for niggas to make them beat box. Every nigga out here moving all about the wall. I just know we dropped the shit. Don't ask about the scope. Put a body on that Gen 5 and swap it. I done bought exotic blocks up at they shit and they run. I tell you this a lot, all these people shit we done.
On October 26, 2021, around 10 p.m., 16-year-old Ajon Jackson, also known as AJ or A-Roy, an M24 affiliate, was ambushed and killed on the 200 block of East Ferriston Drive in East Oak Lane. Ajon and his twin sister had just finished a shift at McDonald's and were dropped off in front of their home by a Lyft when 3 shooters who had been lying in wait opened fire. While his sister narrowly escaped uninjured by running into the house, Ajon was struck more than 10 times in the head, chest, and back, with police recovering at least 15 shell casings at the crime scene. An 11th grade student at Randolph Technical High School, Ajon was described by loved ones as a hardworking teen with a, quote, little whiteboard in his head, constantly rapping and making poems. His tragic killing shows a recurring and calculated theme in this Philadelphia drill war, where targeted hits frequently exploit the vulnerability of teens like AJ caught in the middle of trying to walk the straight and narrow and getting sucked into the gang life. Ajon's death is notable because the circumstances of his death.
There was an ambush in East Oak Lane last night. A 16-year-old boy shot and killed just as he gets home from work with his twin sister in the car. It happened just after they got out of a Lyft car. And then more on that in just a second.
Yes, we'll give you more details. STVPhilly has been on top of that all morning, but it's just, I believe he said it was the 8th 16-year-old to have been shot and killed in the Philadelphia area this year. So it keeps happening. So let's get to Steve to see if we can get more details about what happened.
You know, it's the time of day. A school bus just picked up some kids, and another student that knew this guy just walked by on his way to school. And when he walks by, he's stepping over this McDonald's bag and this cheeseburger, some sandwich that the young man brought home for mom. And he gets done work at 10 o'clock. You know, 16 years old, you can't work a full shift. You were allowed to work 5 hours a day, and his sister worked 5 to 10. They get the lift. They get here shortly after 10. They only work a mile away at Adams and Tabor at the McDonald's. They get out, and a barrage of gunfire. 15 shots point blank from two killers with two guns blasting away. The sister does not get wounded. And can you imagine mom and the aunt in the house?
He was shot multiple times in his torso, his back, and at least one time in the back of his head. He was laying on the sidewalk, not too far from the front door of where he lives with his family. It appears that these shooters were standing very, very close to this victim when the victim got out of the lift vehicle. Now, due to the fact that this 16-year-old was hit multiple times, over 10 times, it appears that he was clearly the intended target. Right now, we do not have a motive for the shooting.
Gun dropped here on the scene. Police have that, and they'll try to trace that as well. And this was the second killing in an hour. And just to show you about the depravity going on, there was a killing on Castor Avenue, the first of 3 within a 4-hour span last night. This guy gets shot coming out of a convenience store. He pulls his own gun while he's sitting on his butt, shot point blank in the chest. He fires 2 shots, then dies. And before cops get there, within a minute, there's people stealing the gun. A guy grabs the gun and hands that gun to a woman. That's what's going on here in the city. A guy freshly killed, and somebody wants to take his gun that he tried to fire back in self-defense before he died.
My God. All right, Steve, it gets worse and worse.
Getting off work at McDonald's, getting killed on his way home, mirrors a murder that made Philly drill music's wall of shame. The murder of Booga of the CCK versus YBC beef. Much like YBC Duel used the McDonald's angle 2 or 3 years later, rappers like Hardy would ruthlessly mock him and his family with McDonald's food and references.
Head front the flame of hot, it's only skated, they ain't bust. His double C and B for B, you gotta go kill the gang with us. Murder gang, you drop a diss and get exposed. Niggas spoke on Broski name, we took his life, that's what he owed. He shot from out that switch, I just tapped it. And I knew the boy was plaque, but he was sweet, I had to text it. Dummy know he in a ward, but he went broken, so this ratchet. Better walk down, sit on top and stop that twitch. You crack it 4, you die with 5, go ask the ops, I never lie. Ain't no leeching over here, you either slide or you provide. They ain't get back for that one nigga who died while eating fries. He ain't bitching in my head, he fucked that father in the it's 2-0.
Randolph Tech is situated in the same general region as Samuel Fells High School, which is attended by Noah Scurry, further intertwining the lives and tragic fates of these young victims across the city's timeline, which was widely reported in local news coverage, noting him among 3 people fatally shot that Tuesday night.
The family of an 8th grader killed in a drive-by shooting is pleading for an end to the violence. It happened in Philadelphia's Summerdale neighborhood Friday afternoon. Eyewitness News reporter Alicia Roberts spoke with the teenager's father earlier today.
He didn't deserve this at all.
Robert Yoakum Jr. was supposed to attend his son's 8th grade graduation on Friday. Instead, it would be a day forever marked by tragedy.
I heard the gunshots and I opened the door and he came running in.
His son, 14-year-old Bobby III, was shot in the chest while sitting on the front porch of his home on the 800 block of Bridge Street.
And I was trying to tell him just relax, and he was holding my hand, telling me, please, Dad, don't let me die, don't let me die.
Bobby was rushed to Einstein where he died. His father blames the guns for turning playground words into a deadly hit.
The violence is never going to end. It's going to constantly happen until all these guns get off the streets.
Philadelphia police say the shooter opened fire from a blue sedan, possibly a Chevy, hitting Yoakum III along with a 15-year-old girl. Friends and family held a vigil Saturday night in Bobby's honor as officials search for a suspect and motive.
We just need the public's help to understand that this can't be normalized, number one, and that you should not tolerate this.
Yoakum III is one of more than 1,000 people shot in our city this year, including 222 fatally.
I love him. I wish she was home.
Alicia Roberts, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
On June 10, 2022, at approximately 3:50 p.m., the devastation of the war was pushed further when 14-year-old Robert Bobby Yoakum Jr. was ambushed in a drive-by shooting on the 800 block of Bridge Street in the Somerdale section. Bobby, an 8th grade student who was tragically killed just days before he was scheduled to attend his middle school graduation, was sitting on his front porch with a 15-year-old girl when gunmen in a blue sedan, possibly a Chevy, drove by and opened fire. Struck once in the chest, the teen managed to run inside his home before collapsing in his father's arms. He was rushed to Einstein Hospital, but was pronounced dead shortly after. While the 15-year-old girl survived, she has a gunshot wound to her right eye. She will be left in stable condition. This occurred during the highly violent summer of 2022. Bobby's death ended up becoming a critical flashpoint. Although his name is sometimes associated in the neighborhood dynamics with the Wackers, Too Sturdy, and one of them groups, Yoakum is heavily cited by community members and on social media as a, quote, pure or innocent victim, much like Tamir Timms. But the young age and innocence can be dangerous if they show any inclination towards gang activity from the point of view of the other gang members.
Out of control gun violence. 2 teenagers were shot today as the city of Philadelphia approaches nearly 100 children struck by gunfire so far this year, according to city council members.
It's beyond alarming. One of this afternoon's victims, 14-year-old Bobby Yoakum, joins the ever-growing list of lives lost to gun violence.
It is Friday night. The big story on Action News is a double shooting that left a 14-year-old boy dead and a 15-year-old girl injured.
It happened as kids were outside playing in Philadelphia's Somerdale neighborhood. Action News reporter Annie McCormick live now outside of police headquarters with what we're learning about this case and the young victims involved, Annie.
Yeah, Gray and Shari, at this hour, police are still looking for the shooter. They do believe that this was a drive-by shooting, and at the time there was more than a dozen teens that were on the front porch and playing in the front yard when 2 teenagers were shot.
It's so horrible. And then, yeah, but he would help us out, like any of us.
14-year-old Bobby Yoakum was killed on his front porch near Bridge in Somerdale this afternoon. A 15-year-old girl was also shot in the eye and rushed to the hospital.
We were sitting out here and the kids were playing, and a car came down the street and it just started shooting, and it was just horrible. It was horrible.
More than a dozen kids were on the porch and playing in the front yard just before 4 p.m. when a car slowly drove by. Neighbors saw a window down and a gun.
We know we have a vehicle coming down the street. It's a blue car. We believe it's a Chevy make, not sure the model yet. Travels down the street, the window rolls down, they fire onto the porches of the homes, striking the 2 kids.
It's very scary, but thank God, like, a lot more people didn't get injured. But it's sad, and hopefully it's an eye-opener for the rest of the kids.
Bobby was a good kid. He would help me with groceries, anything. Like, he would do the lawn for me if I needed him to.
Kids, it's summertime. Kids are just getting out of school. They should have been enjoying their days out there on the streets on a beautiful day. And unfortunately, you know, we're dealing with kids going to the hospital, families going to hospitals to deal with tragic incidents.
And at this hour, police say that they don't have a motive. The 15-year-old girl is in critical but stable condition.
Mocking the dead, appearing in drill rap videos, making Instagrams, saying you're smoking on so-and-so. These are all used as justification for more violence. We talk mostly about the murders on this channel, but a lot of the instigation to where it gets to the point of violence is done out of the view of the public. A fight on the block, this person messed with this person's girl, threatening phone calls and social media posts are all done privately, or the details can be spun in the teller's narrative. So I leave most of the fights and arguments and perspectives to the streets, and I stick to things I can show proof of. Bobby Yoakum's murder served as a primary, quote, innocent trigger, which I said earlier was weaponized by groups to justify even more violence and mayhem. As of early 2026, Bobby's murder remains an unsolved cold case with no arrests made, a tragedy extensively documented by local news outlets. On August 13th, 2022, so a few months after Bobby was killed,
niggas out with chugs, I'm doubled up. Bitch, I put the bad in news, yeah, I've never been on one. Let me catch a op, spot him, got him where his gun. I heard they seen his poppin', Brody, send him with his gun.
During the late afternoon or evening hours, 18-year-old Hasir Adams, also known as Bad News, and who is affiliated with the Certified Clappers, was fatally shot on the 2000 block of North 22nd Street. While his group affiliation ties him to the NorthEast conflict, this shooting occurred in North Philly, an area that has experienced its own significant violence between local gangs like the Zoo and the Blum. As of early 2026, his death remains an unsolved murder with no arrests made. That is a sentence I repeat more than I need to on this channel. The Philadelphia Obituary Project noted his passing within the broader context of the city's extreme violence that year, recording that 47 homicides occurred in August 2022 alone.
Chubbs did it big, came home, now he begging again. Bad News died, don't say his name, cause we all spin the bin. He ain't trolling on Bad News like I ain't make his bitch ass run. Murder City smoking on the op, it's fucking up his lungs. Bitch, I get up close on drills, you tripping for, then you done. Gene kept saying Bad News name, then his dumb ass got sent up. He was boxing on that block, he tried to run, but he was fucked. If that shit personal, I get up close and watch him fuck.
Much like other young men from that highly violent 2021-2022 period, Hasir's name is frequently invoked in social media posts by the groups as they commemorate fallen friends, or from the pages that grimly track the quote score of the ongoing beefs. 12 days later, on August 25th, 2022, an ambush on the 4000 block of McGee Avenue places the escalating violence directly on the Tacony and Frankfurt border. The gunman in this double shooting executed the ambush in an area heavily monitored by cameras, specifically a nearby Wawa. This brazenness highlights a shift in the conflict where the young bulls began acting with extreme indifference to daylight or video surveillance, a tactic used by Fast Break 2 years later.
Breaking news from overnight now: a shooting in Philadelphia's Mayfair section leaves 2 men in critical condition. Police say the shooting happened just before 4 o'clock this morning near the intersection of Frankfurt Avenue and McGee Street. You can see here investigators placing markers there at the scene. We're told the 2 victims were taken to Jefferson Frankfurt Hospital. No word yet on a motive for the shooting.
We talked about the revelation earlier that Noah Scurry was one of the 15-year-old boys shot in May of 2023. It establishes that Noah was operating under an active threat and had already survived a targeted shooting attempt nearly 2 years before he was ambushed outside his Feltonville home. This specific shooting once again encapsulates the collateral devastation of the conflict. Ivan Hall, a 66-year-old man widely described as a beloved community member, was shot in the head and killed simply for being in the vicinity of the intended targets. The shooters discharged numerous rounds with total disregard for the surrounding residents. Hall lost his life simply for standing on his own street. By as early as 2020, the mechanics of these hits had become standardized. The young bulls would utilize stolen vehicles, specifically Kias and Hyundais known as Strikers, armed with guns with switch attachments. Court documents from March 2023 show that Quan Pettigrew, or Mr. No Picks, and Amir Alexander were arrested operating a stolen car while in possession of a gun with a switch. This combination, stolen cars and switches, would dominate and devastate the NorthEast during the time period we're talking about in this video. On Thursday, July 20th, 2023, at approximately 8:24 p.m., 25-year-old Devin Spady, an aspiring rapper known as YNG Cheese and the son of Philly rap and podcast figure Gilly the Kid, was fatally shot once in the back during a triple shooting on the 5800 block of North Masher Street.
A triple shooting in Philadelphia's Olney section claimed the life of an up-and-coming musician. The 25-year-old rap artist was known as Young Cheese, and he's the son of well-known influencer Gilly the King. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas now live for us at Franklin Music Hall in Spring Garden tonight. Taronda, reaction is pouring in for this life cut short.
It really is, because Gilly the King has amassed millions of followers, and a lot of them are planning to come here next week for Gilly Fest. It's a big concert. He uses his platform to speak out against violence, and now violence has claimed the life of his son.
It's a sad day today in Philadelphia.
It's the type of news radio personality Mina Say What never thought she'd have to share.
We could go to a broad David Bro said wait till it get darker. I like Nas with them 40 bullets, they gon' come out larger. Cook think he was on that side, he wasn't even the main target. We been blowing the house out ever since the beat shit started. Stole over top, they hit his head, toss time, that's cold hearted. How the fuck I cracking force? I ain't do nothing to the side. Every time I'm trying to score a bucket, all they do is hide. I asked what's ain't for the low, he said no, I'm coming.
Also, a funeral was held in North Philadelphia today for the son of famed rapper and podcaster Gilly the King. Devin Spady was one of 3 people shot last week in the Olney section of Philadelphia. CBS News Philadelphia's Dan Snyder was inside the funeral today at the Met. He joins us now from there with more. Dan.
Natasha, hundreds of people filed into the Met behind me here just a few hours ago. And amid all that grieving, you know, there was one pretty clear message from just about everybody we spoke with. Everyone needs to do more to end gun violence in the city. Gilly the King laying his oldest son, Devin Spady, to rest on Monday. Spady, who rapped under the name Young Cheese, was killed in a shooting at the corner of Masher and Nedrow last Thursday night.
This senseless acts of violence, these acts of violence, these shootings, has to stop, man. I mean, what good is it?
Spady is one of 239 homicides counted by Philadelphia police this year, most killed through gun violence. Family friends say the loss hurts even more, knowing Gilly has long pushed people to choose a different path.
He always promoted a positive image and always talked about putting the guns down. So it's unfortunately that his son had to meet his demise this way.
Imam Tahir Wyatt made a point to address gun violence in his speech. He called on people at Monday's service to think before they act and to help those in need.
All of us know somebody. All of us know people who are this far away from revenge, from an endless cycle. But we have to be the ones to step up and be courageous.
Many family friends we spoke with believe losing a son to gun violence will motivate Gilly even more to stay active in his fight. But they also know he can't do it alone and say the community has to step up and take action.
I hope we go harder as a people to stop the violence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't put all the weight on Gilly to stop the violence.
We have to stop. We have to make a concerted effort to come together to find solutions to the craziness that is plaguing our city.
Gilly the King did not speak publicly at today's services. Philadelphia police say so far no arrests have been made in Spady's death and that this is an ongoing investigation. In North Philly, Dan Snyder, CBS News Philadelphia. Jess?
All right, Dan, thank you.
Well, we've seen rapper Gilly and also podcaster and everything else, excuse me, as the Eagles hype man, dancing to blow the whistle. He's been on the stage when they had their official send-off for New Orleans. He's been in the locker room dancing with the players. But you may remember he suffered a horrible tragedy 2 years ago when his son was murdered. Gilly had just gotten a little closure, and he says police told him who killed his son. So Gilly's son, Devin Spady, a 25-year-old rapper known as YNG Cheese, was shot and killed in a triple shooting in Olney in July of 2023. Gilly says the shooter was 17-year-old basketball star Noah Scurry, whose own killing made headlines just last month. And in a recent interview with Shannon Sharp, Gilly says his son was not the intended target and just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Scurry was shot to death on January 14th while on his way to Samuel Fells High School with his mother. And police say Scurry was killed one day after a rap video was posted to social media. And here's a screenshot of it, where Scurry was dressed in a Joker mask and holding a gun. And Scurry was also a victim in a previous shooting in May of 2023. But there is video of this, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to hear me say it. So hopefully we'll get to play the video where Gilly talks about what it's been like and hearing that news and the fact that we're losing our young people and how they're being raised. So I hope that we'll actually play that video because I can say the words, but to hear it from his own mouth is a little more impactful.
Well, it was shocking to everybody that was watching it, including the interviewer, Shannon.
Yeah.
He goes, what?
It was just silent for a while. And he said, really?
Yeah.
So it was quite a moment, and we'll make sure to play that for you so that way you can hear it.
Met the kid? Have you talked to the kid that took your son's life?
Nah, I never met him. Only reason why I know is because the police called me and told me once he was murdered. Once he got, because the kid had just got shot 17 times, he was walking with his mom.
Oh.
And he got murdered. And then the police notified me and let me know that he was one of the kids that was pretty much about to get locked up for the murder, but he got murdered first. So, and then, you know, when you do something in the streets know. So, you know, they all on Instagram and they talk, and then, you know, apparently this kid name was the Joker, and, you know, that's what he did, so, you know. But he had to deal with God, you know, that's how I look at it.
Cheese was transported to Einstein Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead, while 2 other men, ages 28 and 31, survived their gunshot wounds from the attack. Police responding to the scene located a Mercedes SUV with its engine still running a block away, which was held as evidence, though no weapons were immediately recovered. In a grim irony, Cheese was killed on the same 5800 block of North Master Street where the innocent Tamir Timms was murdered in 2020, cementing this street as a deadly focal point for the Olney and Feltonville conflict. The narrative surrounding Devin Spade's death took a massive turn during a February 2025 interview on the Club Shay Shay podcast with Shannon Sharp, where Gilly publicly stated that Philadelphia police had informed him that Noah Scurry, or Joker, was the individual responsible for his son's murder. This revelation completely reaffirmed Scurry's own murder in January of 2025 as a potential high-level retaliation for the Cheese murder. On February 15, 2024, at approximately 8:54 p.m., 20-year-old student-athlete Christopher Dowling, affiliated with the Wackers/Pavement Boys, was ambushed and fatally shot multiple times in his upper body on the 5800 block of Rising Sun Ave, near Rosalie Street, in the Longcrest section. Dowling, who lived with sickle cell disease, had taken a semester off from Tennessee State University to transfer to Montgomery County Community College in pursuit of a career as a financial advisor, was walking to a pizza store when a white Durango was seen at the scene during the exchange of gunfire. Police rushed him to Temple University Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 9:12 p.m. In March 2024, 18-year-old Anal Buggs was arrested after surveillance videos and ballistics gathered during the notorious SEPTA bus stop shooting directly linked him to Dowling's murder. Police described the violence as a back and forth between these groups, marking Dowling's murder as a critical prelude where targeted individual hits escalated into high-profile mass casualty events in public spaces. So a quick recap: February 15th, Chris Dowling is ambushed and killed. Anal Buggs and Lil Ryan from Fast Break are later charged in that shooting. On March 5th, less than a month later, in suspected retaliation, gunmen ambushed 17-year-old Damian Taylor, or Fat Dame, at an Ogons Ave bus stop. Just 2 days later, on March 6th, 8 NorthEast High students are shot at a SEPTA bus stop at Rising Sun and Cotman Avenue, the direct get back for the Imhotep shooting. The March 4th Imhotep ambush perfectly illustrates the sociological framework of community trauma. The gunman fired over 50 rounds into the crowd of 15 to 20 people waiting for the bus that day. The gunfire obviously hit more than just the intended targets. It hit 2 other women, ages 50 and 70, who were simply sitting on the SEPTA bus that day. These innocent casualties show the devastating effects that fueled the community's outrage, while simultaneously being weaponized by the other side to justify ever-escalating cycles of get back.
Rep that Hellboy shit for the ones they heard. One time.
Lil Harley passed away, but so they lacking, that's just what it is. Bobby felt them shots on the step, and that's her second skip.
Don't try to walk on Sullivan, got his melon split. Try to get away with the crack the butt, ready to.
Juke walked outside without that some shit I wouldn't have did. Might let her suck my dick and let this little bitch do my ad-lib.
Juke walked outside without that the shit I wouldn't have did. Might let her suck my dick and let this little bitch do my ad-lib.
Sarah passed away in his bitch arms, that was a bad bit. Can't let bro take the keys to the free car, he might trap out of it. Keep putting us on camera, knowing damn well we jumping out of it too.
Another developing story we've been following here, the 17-year-old boy shot and killed as he was about to board a SEPTA bus yesterday was a student at Imhotep Institute Charter High School. The school canceling classes for students today. Jennifer, what's the latest?
Yeah, this was a day for grieving for students today as well as tomorrow. And just within the last few minutes, we received a photo of 17-year-old Damon Taylor. This is from Imhotep Institute Charter High School. And we also received a statement from the CEO, Andre Noble, who said in part, quote, "Damon Taylor had a joyful smile and loved our school as we loved him. His last day of school, he was actively engaged in STEM Week. We will work with his family to keep his memory alive. We are also focused on the healing and safety of our community." And the Philadelphia District Attorney says there were developments overnight as well as today into this investigation to actively solve this crime. A solemn day at Imhotep Institute Charter High School, where the school community is mourning 17-year-old Damon Taylor.
He was a fun, silly, loving, caring, respectful. He was the life of the party.
The Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network, or PAN, is providing grief counseling for students who are remote learning Tuesday and Wednesday following the violence. And they held a grief session for teachers who expressed their pain over losing a beloved student.
He was supposed to be chairing on their STEM class for the 11th grade, which was supposed to start today. They were all excited to see his work, his friends and his teachers really was cheering him on and wanted to see, what he brings.
Philadelphia police say Taylor was among 5 who were shot on Monday just before 3 p.m. near a SEPTA bus stop on the 6200 block of Ogontz Avenue. Police sources provided surveillance stills of 2 shooters and say over 40 shots were fired.
One repeatedly after each other, bow, 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 bow. And it was terrifying.
Patricia Dockery was steps away from the gunfire inside a house and shared Ring video of emergency vehicles arriving.
I just feel so sad for the parents, the other children that he went to school with, and it's just horrible, The city is, I don't know what to say about it.
Police say 2 other teens, 14 and 15 years old, were grazed by bullets, and 2 women, a 50 and 71-year-old sitting inside the bus, were injured. All were placed in stable condition.
A juvenile who has now lost his life. We have a 70-year-old woman.
The Philadelphia District Attorney was emotional as he discussed his commitment to helping these victims and any witnesses.
This is an absolute outrage. It will be solved. Those responsible will be vigorously prosecuted and get the just and appropriate consequences in this case.
Now to a statement from SEPTA. They say, quote, "SEPTA is grateful for the heroic efforts of the bus operator who quickly and safely moved the bus out of the line of fire immediately after gunfire erupted on the street. All SEPTA customers and employees should be able to feel safe while they are traveling and working. We provide 700,000 passenger trips a day, and incidents like this are extremely rare, although one is too many." Now, the district attorney says if you have any information regarding this deadly shooting, reach out to the Philadelphia Police Homicide Division. You can also call in an anonymous tip. The number is 215-686-TIPS. Live outside police headquarters, Jennifer Lee, Sheba and Jason, back to you.
Jennifer, hearing from the district attorney and police today, any information yet on whether those kids who were waiting at the bus stop, including Damon Taylor, if any of them were targeted?
Yes, actually, we heard from the police commissioner yesterday as well as from the district attorney that this was a targeted shooting based on the evidence that they were able to gather on scene. It was pretty evident to them that the 17-year-old student, Damon Taylor, was the intended target.
Motto. All my niggas swooping, you ain't got no jumper. Glizzy get the clap, met the shit like some thunder. Tap the button on the bag and watch him do his dance. You know this Glock do power punches, figure out the stand. Y'all talking about y'all shooters, when y'all slide they always miss. They be known for running quick when we coming with the blitz. Got heavy sticks, ain't no running hollow tips.
NorthEast High is one of the largest high schools in the city with more than 3,000 students. 8 of them were shot one left in critical condition. The incident occurred on Wednesday, March 6th, close to the NorthEast High School, just as students were preparing to board their buses home. Around 3 p.m., surveillance footage released by the police captured 3 individuals wearing masks as they appeared around a corner in an intersection called 5 Points and began shooting. The 8 people shot ranged in age from 15 to 17. As of Monday, the police have confirmed that all victims are now in stable condition. This includes the 16-year-old who was critically wounded, having been struck by bullets 9 times, according to ABC News. I don't know how teenagers get so bold, so reckless, and sloppy to even begin to think that this was a good idea. How bad could you want to kill someone that you literally don't care who you shoot? Innocent kids, crossing guards, bus drivers, and whoever else was out there, there was no way that they were going to get away with this.
We are going to do everything that we can to ensure your public health and safety, and we don't apologize for using every legal and constitutional tool in our tool belts in order to get that done.
Adding parents need to step up too.
I ask every parent today, go in those rooms and look under those tables and look under those closets and get those guns out of the house.
On March 2nd, this dark blue 2019 Hyundai Sonata was reported stolen from the 500 block of Kendrick Street in the far northeast. In its place was another stolen Kia Sportage, which was swapped. 4 days later, 4 teens, all under the age of 19, would drive the blue Hyundai to the corner of Rising Sun and Cotman, get out, and do the unthinkable. Police recovered the Hyundai in an alleyway between the 400 blocks of Fern Street and Roslyn Street around 10:30 p.m. They towed the car for further investigation. According to the affidavits of probable cause, a witness reported seeing 2 people commit the theft, breaking the window of the Hyundai and leaving a Kia Sportage they'd arrived in parked and running. The Kia, police later learned, had also been reported stolen late February from the 7800 block of Horrock Street. Investigators acquired data from cell towers to verify the location of cell phones near the crime scene, the theft of the Kia Sportage, and the Hyundai Sonata theft. The probable cause affidavit noted the patterns of these devices matched the suspect's movements as understood by the investigation at the moment. One of the mobile devices tracked through this method was associated with a woman previously identified in the school district records as the guardian of Anal Bugs. Evidence from both vehicles and the crime scene were recovered. As the crime scene unit was gathering DNA evidence from the vehicle, law enforcement officers visited the 400 block of Fern Street to secure video recording. A particular video captured the moment the car entered the alley at 3:11 p.m. on Wednesday, just minutes after the shooting, revealing 4 individuals dressed in matching black outfits. These people were subsequently identified as suspects in the shooting based on the probable cause affidavits. After pulling into the alleyway, the suspects entered a residence on the block. This residence was later pinpointed by police through video analysis. In the early hours, authorities served a search warrant at the residence on the 400 block of Fern Street that we just spoke about. There, they discovered a polymer 80 jig, a tool for assembling firearms from kits of the same brand, and mail addressed to Jamal Tucker Jr. A subsequent search at Tucker's house led to the seizure of 30 rounds of .45 caliber ammunition. Later that night, Tucker surrendered himself to police. During their investigation, authorities analyzed a prison phone call made by a man named Dantes McMillan, who is currently an inmate at SCI Pine Grove. The call was made to a number associated with Anal Bugs. McMillan addressed a person on the other end as his nephew, and they referred to him as Unc. The conversation included McMillan asking, "I heard about your man, you good?" To which the response was a simple, "Nah." McMillan then noted, "Yeah, it's never easy to digest." From the contents of this call, officials inferred that the discussion was likely about the homicide of Damian Taylor that occurred on the 6200 block of Ogons Avenue just days earlier. Dame was killed at 3:45 p.m. on March 4th, just as Imhotep charter school students were heading home. According to reports, 2 masked assailants in hoodies opened fire on students boarding a SEPTA bus. Damian Taylor, 17, was fatally shot multiple times and died shortly after. He was a student at the school. The attack also injured 2 other students from Imhotep, along with 2 women aged 50 and 71 who were on the bus. As of now, Philadelphia police have not dismissed the link between this incident and the other shootings, although they have not disclosed any potential motives. And I noticed that every single news article that I read about this makes it a point to mention that. Philadelphia police, together with the U.S. Marshals, apprehended Anal Buggs without any complications. During a search of Buggs' residence, law enforcement officials found a .40 caliber Glock 22 handgun equipped with an extended magazine, a laser pointer, and a switch. Deputy Police Commissioner Frank Venor mentioned that an initial ballistics analysis suggests a match between the firearm recovered and the shell casings found in the location of the shooting at Rising Sun and Cotman. In a news conference announcing the arrest of Tucker and Buggs, police made clear that their investigation was continuing. Quote, anyone who may have aided and assisted them, we're coming for them too, said Venor.
Now I'm looking for the treasure. Once we get that job, we load them glass, yeah, that's my pleasure. This is known on guys, they play that goofy like a feather. You can't stop the rain, we let our shots go check the weather.
Jeremiah Carter, or Motto, was arrested around 3:30 p.m. on the 1200 block of Academy Road in Northeast Philadelphia, said Robert Clark, Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal with the Eastern Pennsylvania Violent Crime Fugitive Task Force. Carter was said to be relatively surprised when he was found, but he did not resist arrest. The Fugitive Task Force also contacted the family of a 17-year-old fourth suspect and told him that he had until the morning to surrender to Philadelphia police, or else his name and photo would be made public and a reward announced for his capture. Quote, we gave them the ultimatum, turn your son in by tomorrow, Clark said, adding that the family was, quote, somewhat cooperative.
This was the moment 19-year-old Jeremiah Carter was walked out of his father's home on Academy Road, close to Woodhaven. A rare midday capture by U.S. Marshals, with Philadelphia police detectives on hand, just 23 hours after Philadelphia city leaders had announced the arrest of the first 2 suspects in Wednesday's mass shooting of 8 Northeast high school students at a SEPTA bus stop. Carter was number 3, and moments after his 3:30 arrest, I spoke to his dad, who had answered the front door when the marshals came knocking. What can you tell me happened with your son?
I don't know. I just came to the door and 2 machine guns.
You came to the door and they had machine guns in your face? What did they say to you?
They just brought me outside.
The marshals sat him down on the front steps, arms handcuffed behind his back, and snapped more photos of him being taken away into custody. The last and still not in custody in the shooting, 4th male wanted, is the only one who is a juvenile, a 17-year-old from Philadelphia's Germantown section. Marshals showed up at his family's home too to get him today, but he wasn't there. And they urged his family to get him to turn himself in for his own good and for his own safety, so street justice doesn't get to him before the criminal justice system does. Or does the family of the 17-year-old know that his life could be in danger if his name gets out there?
Yes, that was explicitly expressed to them by myself. I said, we're all on the same side. We want to get your son in safely. I'm here to help you. I'm here to get your son in safely. We've gotten all these other individuals in safely. We can do it. Work with us. You have till tomorrow to get him in. Otherwise, the hunt will continue, and his picture will be released to the city of Philadelphia, and we'll be asking for the public's assistance, and on top of that, we'll be offering a cash reward.
By Wednesday, March 13th, the 17-year-old hadn't turned himself in, and as promised, his name and face was released to the public, along with a reward for his capture.
So a reminder, the authorities looking into this case have been saying from the get-go that there's a strong likelihood of retaliation between last Monday's first SEPTA bus stop shooting, where a 17-year-old was murdered in that one, and Wednesday's shooting, and more retaliation could follow, and so that is the thinking, and that's what they're hoping his family is thinking to help bring him in.
This wasn't just another shooting in Philadelphia. 8 children were shot, and the mayor's administration and law enforcement weren't letting this one go easy. Immediately, the U.S. Marshal Service was on it and made it known that they were going to solve this crime. On Wednesday, March 6th, after the smoke cleared, within a matter of 5 seconds, 8 students, aged 15 to 17, were struck by bullets 30 shots in all were fired, according to police and video from the scene. Responding officers found the teens lying on a rainy, wet-soaked sidewalk in the road, blood soaking through their clothes and school uniforms. Young friends and bystanders trying to hold pressure to their wounds, according to videos taken by witnesses. The family of 17-year-old Damian Taylor, a student at Imhotep Charter, who was tragically killed in the shooting incident, came together to commemorate and lay him to rest. 2 other students from Imhotep sustained injuries, and 2 other women unaffiliated with any of this were also injured on the bus. A janazah was conducted for Taylor at the Khadijah Alderman Funeral Home on Friday morning, followed by his burial at Shelton Hill Cemetery. In the midst of their mourning, Taylor's family has opted not to make public statements. School representatives, however, remembered him as an intelligent and kind-hearted individual, brimming with school pride and hailing from a family with a strong legacy at Imhotep. In late summer 2024, Fast Break, escalating their attacks, initiated a crazy sequence of events. So we're a few months after the bus stop shootings. It began with a stolen car. On August 14, 2024, an associate known only as Julius stole a white 2018 Kia Sportage in Cheltenham, allegedly for Aiden Waters, or A-Boy, in exchange for $100. On August 18th, at roughly 10 p.m., A-Boy opened fire on the 500 block of Centner Street, critically wounding a 43-year-old man and a 14-year-old boy. Hours later, at 2:30 a.m. on August 19th, Waters and his accomplice unleashed a barrage of bullets into a vehicle on the 200 block of East Duncannon Avenue. 16-year-old Marquis Sanders was struck in the head and killed, while 5 others were wounded in that mass shooting. The getaway car for the Duncannon Street murder, a stolen gray Hyundai Sonata, was found torched on North 10th Street at 4 a.m. to destroy DNA evidence, but investigators extracted digital data from a cell phone that had connected to the vehicle's Bluetooth system. Furthermore, on recorded jail calls, Waters was heard bragging to incarcerated Fast Break members about the mass shooting, stating that there were, quote, 2 different scrimmages in one day, 1 slam dunk, and 1 went in and out. And as we said earlier, the slam dunk will be the murder, and he's referring to going in and out as an unsuccessful shooting. The violence reached a fever pitch on August 23, 2024, when 25-year-old Abdul Vicks, a prominent drill rapper known as YBC Dul, was shot and killed. The logistics of this assassination were captured entirely on residential security cameras, also a SEPTA bus caught it. Ring doorbell footage from Waters' home on 68th Ave showed his own mother, LaToya Donaldson, carrying a dark rifle bag from the second-floor basement. She exited the rear of the home and handed the rifle to a teenager named Rashawn Williams, who then climbed into a stolen white Kia Sportage. At 3:27 p.m., the Kia stalked YBC Dul, rented white Hyundai, which looked just like the Kia, along West Olney Avenue, opening fire and killing him. The forensic loop closed on August 31st. SWAT teams raided Aiden Waters' home, finding a stolen 9mm Glock hidden in a black bag in the basement. Ballistic testings confirmed this exact weapon fired the shell casings found at the scene of the Centner Street shootings and the Duncannon Avenue murder and the murder of Abdul Vicks. Aiden Waters was charged with 2 counts of murder and 8 counts of attempted murder. As the Fast Break arrest rolled out, the retaliatory violence in the Northeast continued to hunt its targets. Noah Scurry, who had narrowly survived the Mulberry Street crossfire in 2023, was now 17. The week prior, his basketball team played in Hotep High School, the school that Fat Dame went to. The tension was so severe that Noah Scurry had to sit out that game, and students were banned from attending. On social media, Noah Scurry left a long digital footprint, and this kept a target firmly on his back. On the morning of January 14th, 2025, at approximately 7:15 a.m., the dual lives of Noah Scurry collided. Wearing his black backpack, Scurry walked out of his home on Rohrer Street, preparing to get into his mother's car to be driven to school. Before he could open the door, a white Jeep Cherokee aggressively pulled up. At least 2 individuals were inside. They unleashed a relentless barrage, firing more than 20 rounds. Scurry was struck multiple times in the chest and abdomen right in front of his mother. He was pronounced dead minutes later at Jefferson Einstein Hospital. In May of 2025, 23-year-old Amaya Maya Devlin was killed in a mass shooting in Fairmount Park that left a total of 2 people dead and 9 others injured. During the investigation, police determined the shootout was highly complex, suspecting that 6 different weapons were fired during the attack. The execution of a 17-year-old honor student in front of his parent is a stark, brutal testament to the realities of this conflict. The stolen white Jeep Cherokee was found the next day, damaged and abandoned 2 miles away. The perpetrators had successfully carried out a highly coordinated, intelligence-driven hit against a high-value target in their digital war. Behind the camera, recording and cheering on her 8-year-old son is Latoya Donaldson, the mother of Aiden Waters. 8 years later, the now infamous teenager was the first in a long line of dominoes that fell following the murder of drill rapper and fan favorite YBC Duel. A lot has happened since the death of Duel. Some people feel Philly drill music died with him, but the truth is, there's the next generation who feel like they can rap, drill, and kill as well, and do it differently or better.
And that's the worst, he got overkill. We knocking heads off of Roy, niggas know the deal. We knocking off of Roy, niggas know the deal. I smoking, that's dirty ass out the fucking pound. I smoking dirty ass out the fucking pound. I smoking, that's dirty ass out the fucking pound. Yeah, what you gonna do it for? Niggas hop out that big. And he was talking hot shit, so don't cop no play. Get on your mark, ready, set, go, and then catch a bait. Get on your mark, ready, set, go, and then catch a bait.
Andrew did it again.
GBJ, Hundo. Fast break, Brody screaming go. Last I tried this, he got turned to bow. I told him bring his head back, they can keep his fro. I ain't coming through the front, I'm big back though.
But as we know, and I say time and time again, the streets are alive. YBC has been at the center of the Philly drill rap era, made popular a few years ago, and YBC Duel in particular started to get more and more mainstream coverage as 2023 ended and 2024 began. I don't need to go over the whole history. I have a full documentary on the rise and fall of YBC and YBC Duel specifically. After Duel's death, almost immediately, fingers were getting pointed, and a few days later, the details on his murder started to fall into place.
Fast break, Brody screaming go. Last I tried this, he got turned to bow.
The group known as Fast Break isn't tied to a specific neighborhood or defined territory. Instead, it's made up of teenagers who grew up together, attended the same schools, and formed bonds over shared experiences. Many of these young boys lost friends to violence, a common thread that has made it seem as if they're brothers. One of them was Motto, or Jemiah Carter, who was arrested earlier this year in what police say is his role in a March 6 shooting that injured 8 teens at Rising Sun and Cotman Ave in Northeast Philly. Anal Bugs was also arrested in that incident. Carter, Bugs, and 3 others were charged with attempted murder, firearms violations, aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, amongst other charges. Another one of their main rappers was arrested earlier this year as well and charged with murder. Ryan Purcell was arrested and charged with the murder of 20-year-old Chris Dallin back in February. Ryan Purcell rapped by the name LR and did the typical drill music you hear in Philly today. I broke down all of this and more in my video about Fast Break after the initial arrest of Aiden Waters. The road that took us to Duel's death up until recently, when Aiden Waters' mom was charged with murder, is a mix of obvious amateur mistakes you would expect teenagers to make, detective work, and old-fashioned snitching. On August 14th, when Cheltenham police responded to 1135 Cheltenham Ave for a report of a stolen vehicle, the person reported that her white Kia Sportage had been taken after she parked it for work. Surveillance footage captured 2 thin-built males in dark clothing shattering the vehicle's rear passenger window at around 2:55 p.m. before fleeing westbound in the vehicle. Days later, the stolen SUV became the getaway vehicle in a violent armed robbery. On August 17, 2024, at approximately 1:35 a.m., 2 complainants left the live casino at 900 Packer Avenue. While in their vehicle, they were approached by 2 to 3 males saying, "Give it to me, give it to me." One of the males was armed with a handgun. Taken were 2 Apple iPhones, 2 Rolex watches, 1 Louis Vuitton purse with credit cards and IDs, cash and casino chips inside. The males fled in a white Kia Sportage, the same one that was stolen out of Cheltenham 3 days earlier.
I used to trap out gunner crib like how the fuck you cross it. Zero friend of mine died in that V just like Paul Walker.
On August 18th, around 9:53 p.m., police found a 14-year-old boy suffering from a graze wound to his thigh near 500 Centner Street. A 43-year-old was also shot in this incident, but the 14-year-old and his friends who were walking home from the nearby ball courts were the intended targets. Surveillance video recovered from the scene reveals the suspect vehicle, a newer model gray sedan, which begins shooting at the 14-year-old, who then runs eastbound on Centner toward victim number 1, the 43-year-old. As the offenders continue to shoot, investigators found over 25 bullet casings, including 7.62s and 9mm rounds, which were later used as evidence. The violence continued on August 19th at around 2:32 a.m. when police responded to a double shooting on East Duncannon Street. 2 16-year-old victims, Marquise Saunders and GB, were struck by gunfire. Saunders, or Marmar, was pronounced dead at 7:11 a.m. at Temple University Hospital, while GB remained in critical condition at the time. The cars used in the shooting was later discovered burned at 6530 North 10th Street, police say. It came back reported stolen. Around 3:30 p.m. on August 23rd, police responded to Einstein Medical Center. Abdul Vicks, or YBC Dul, was pronounced dead from multiple gunshot wounds at 3:55 p.m. after being transported from a shooting that happened elsewhere. Baby 35th Street later told detectives that he was driving a white Hyundai when he was shot at. Police found the vehicle he was talking about at 5512 North Fairhill Street with visible bullet holes. Around the same time, the stolen Kia Sportage was discovered burned at 6945 North 15th Street. Surveillance footage captured a suspect fleeing the scene on foot, wearing dark clothing and a black mask. Upon opening the vehicle, fire personnel observed several FCCs inside the vehicle and notified police. The Kia Sportage was reported stolen out of Cheltenham Township on August 14, 2024. Surveillance video recovered shows the Kia entering the side building parking lot of 6945 North 15th Street at 3:40 p.m. The Kia then disappeared behind the building, where there are no cameras. At 3:43 p.m., a male wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, a black mask, and dark colored pants is observed running out of the lot, making efforts to cover his face. A subsequent search of the 2018 white Kia Sportage yielded multiple DNA swabs and latent prints, along with 2 7.62 FCCs, or fired cartridge casings, 1 9mm FCC, and 1 unfired 9mm cartridge. Fire marshals took samples from a towel that smelled of gasoline from the front driver's seat. Initial reports state that Dole, Baby, and a female were all in the car, and that Dole was on the rear driver's side. In a statement to police, Baby stated that Dole rented the SUV about a week prior, and the pair were planning to head to New York on business. He said they were driving the SUV and that they were the only 2 in the car. He stated that YBC Dole was actually driving. Baby told police he didn't see the shooters. He didn't see whether they were on foot or in a car, or how many shots were fired. He also told him that he initially drove the SUV back to 6th and Fairhill to get his uncle and then drive Dole to the hospital. Baby 35th Street wasn't much help to the detectives due to him not giving up any information. He absolutely was trying to not implicate himself in anything, while also not implicating anyone else with his statements, which he almost had to make.
Married the business, we done dropped 5 in a row, we on the road. Shout out Bustin', he stood tall, fuck Lil Shiesty, that nigga told.
So, after Dole's death, detectives were left with 2 burned vehicles, both stolen out of Cheltenham Township and both used in murders. Ballistic evidence was found in each vehicle. The murder victims were 16-year-old Marquis Saunders and 25-year-old YBC Duel. However, they didn't have a scene for the killing of Duel just yet. They also had a third shooting victim and a scene where bullet shells, fragments, and other ballistic evidence was found. A few things needed to fall in place for detectives to be able to solve this, and almost immediately, the pieces started to line up. Security footage from the murder of YBC Duel was released only a few days after his death, and only then did detectives find out that Duel was shot on Olney Avenue and not on 6th and Fairhill. Detectives went to the scene on Olney Ave on August 26th to locate any remaining forensics or video. After canvassing the area, they recovered one single 9mm FCC. Video surveillance footage was recovered from the area of 5100 North 3rd Street and 200 East Duncannon Street. The video from 5100 North 3rd Street depicts the suspect vehicle, a newer model gray sedan, which appears to be a Hyundai Sonata, pull into the intersection of 3rd and Lindley. Two unknown males exit the gray vehicle from the front passenger and the rear driver's seats, armed with an assault rifle and a handgun. These males fire shots in the direction of the victim's white Nissan Altima, which is stopped on 3rd Street. Minutes later, the suspect vehicle is captured on surveillance footage pulling alongside the victim's Altima. Additional 9mm fired cartridge casings were located outside of the victim's Altima, indicating that they spun back around. 2 hours later, the stolen Sonata was found on fire, as I mentioned earlier. This was the scene of the murder that happened on August 19th. Aiden Waters was heard on recorded jail calls talking to Ryan Purcell, or LR, and other Fast Break members, saying things like, "We smoking on Marmar," and referencing the shootings as scrimmages and basketball games. Waters mentions multiple scrimmages in one day, which references the killing of Marquis Saunders and the shooting of the 14-year-old, saying, quote, "Not the same scrimmage, there are two different scrimmages in one day. One slam dunk and one went in and out." Waters concludes, quote, "I really witnessed him trying to dunk on Young Bull. On my mom, I witnessed him bang on Young Bull. That shit didn't go in, bro," like, while talking about the shooting of the 14-year-old. Waters then turned the camera towards his torso and dragged his finger back and forth, grazing his side with his fingertips, showing where the 14-year-old got shot at. On August 28, 2024, forensics examiners looked at 9 latent print cards taken from the 2018 white Kia Sportage. The crime scene investigators were able to get latent prints recovered from the vehicles belonging to the following individuals. The first was taken from the rear driver's side door frame, which was identified as a 17-year-old, who we'll call witness number 2. The second lift was taken from the front driver's side door, identified as Rashawn Williams. And the third lift was taken from the front passenger side visor mirror, identified as Adonis Wilson. Adonis Wilson will be cleared of all charges and is not involved in this case. Back on August 22nd, the day before Duel was shot, witness number 2 was arrested on firearms charges and held in custody until released on a juvenile GPS monitor on August 23rd, the very next day. Witness number 2's ankle monitor data was reviewed and placed him in the area of his home at the time of Abdul Vic's murder. At the time of witness number 2's arrest, juvenile intake personnel confiscated his iPhone and brought it to the homicide unit. Witness number 2's mother arrived at the homicide unit a short time later. After obtaining permission from mom, a post-Miranda statement was obtained from witness number 2. In summary, he stated that he associates with known members of a loosely organized group called Fast Break. Additionally, he stated that on August 20th, 2024, a young man that he knows by the name of, quote, Julius, came to his home, driving the aforementioned 2018 white Kia Sportage. This Julius person told witness number 2 that he had stolen the vehicle for a person that they know as A-Boy in exchange for $100. Witness number 2 initially denied ever getting inside the vehicle, but eventually stated that he briefly got into the passenger side of the vehicle. Witness number 2 stated that he wanted to go with Julius to take the car to A-Boy in exchange for half of the $100. He stated that Julius declined, so he got out of the vehicle. Witness number 2 stated that prior to his interaction, he hung out with A-Boy approximately 4 times. When asked about the white Kia Sportage, he brought up the shooting of YBC Duel. He stated that he didn't know the real name of A-Boy, but identified his Instagram handle as The Craftiest 4, and that he lived in the area of 68th Avenue near the cemetery. Authorities know The Craftiest 4 to be the account of Aiden Waters. The detectives have been actively obtaining surveillance video in order to track the path of travel of both vehicles, the Kia and the Hyundai, before and after the murder of YBC Duel. Video recovered shows the offender's 2018 white Kia Sportage is first observed traveling eastbound on the 800 block of Tabor Street at 324. Duel's white Hyundai Santa Fe is first observed on the 300 block of West Olney Avenue traveling eastbound at 327. Footage recovered from a SEPTA bus then shows the offender's Kia perform a U-turn on the 400 block of Olney Avenue, start traveling eastbound, and begin to follow Duel's Santa Fe at 327. The shooting is captured on multiple sources of video, including the SEPTA bus and an Xfinity private camera, as both vehicles are traveling eastbound on 100 West Olney Avenue. Specifically, the shooting occurs in front of 176 West Olney Avenue. The Kia then speeds ahead of the SEPTA bus, traveling eastbound in the westbound lane. The Kia flees the scene and turns right on the 5500 block of Master Street, and then onto the 100 block of Clarkson Avenue. A camera located on Clarkson Avenue captures a glimpse of the Kia at 328. While fleeing the scene, the Kia is observed at Front and Olney at 328. The Kia is last observed traveling westbound on the 1600 block of 68th Avenue of North 17th Street at 340. Based on surveillance footage from 68th Avenue and the rear alleyway of the 1700 block of 68th, the Kia does not continue south on 17th Street past the alleyway. Therefore, the Kia must have turned eastbound into the alleyway behind 68th Avenue between 17th and Smedley Streets. Recovered video from 6945 North 15th Street revealed that at 340, the Kia entered the apartment complex parking lot. At 343, a light-skinned black male wearing blue pants, a black underarm hoodie with the words Under Armour on the hood, and a black Nike Pro skull cap and black and white Under Armour sneakers is observed running out of the lot. This property has a rear garage entrance that is accessible via the alley the Kia enters, which is approximately 6 minutes prior to the arson. Using Google Maps, the estimated time to drive the 0.3 miles from Waters' house at 1624 68th Avenue to where the Kia is set on fire at 6945 North 15th Street is 2 minutes, according to the police affidavit. On August 31st, 2024, homicide detectives, with the assistance of the SWAT unit, executed a search warrant at 1624 68th Avenue. Police located Aiden Waters in the second-floor bedroom. On the bed, under Waters, was a black Glock 29 10mm handgun. Firearm had an obliterated serial number, red switch attachment, a red grip, and an extended magazine loaded with 24 rounds. There was no extra round in the firearms chamber. Also found were an empty Magnum Baby Desert Eagle gun box for a 9mm firearm, a black laser attachment, and one purple Glock backplate. A search of the basement yielded one Glock 9mm 19 Gen 5 handgun with the serial number still intact. The firearm was in a black bag next to the washer and dryer. It was loaded with 16 live 9mm rounds and one in the chamber. This gun was found to be in stolen status. Also, in total, 8 cell phones were recovered from the basement. After Waters' arrest, ballistic comparisons linked the aforementioned August 18, 2024 non-fatal shooting, the August 19, 2024 homicide, and the August 23, 2024 homicide. Forensics examiners were able to confirm that the 9mm Luger FCCs recovered at each crime scene on Centner Street, on Duncannon Street, and on Olney Avenue were identified as each having been fired from a Glock 19 Gen 5 9mm Luger, which was recovered inside the basement of Aiden Waters' home. They were also able to confirm that 7.62 by 39mm FCCs recovered at each of the 3 previously referenced scenes were all fired from the same firearm, which has not yet been recovered. Further examination of witness number 2's iPhone identified some significant falsehoods in his statement to police. Contrary to witness number 2's initial statement, he was in fact in contact with Aiden Waters on the evening of August 18, 2024, and apparently himself sells him the stolen gray sedan, which is identical to the Hyundai Sonata burned and recovered at 6530 North 10th Street, which police believe was then used in the August 18th double shooting on Centner Street and also the murder on Duncannon Street prior to the vehicle's arson. Furthermore, the last communication regarding the transfer of that vehicle between witness number 2 and Aiden Waters is at 6:17 p.m., just over 3 hours before the shootings and arsons took place. Prior to asking about the gray sedan, Aiden Waters asked if witness number 2 still has the Sportage, which of course is the model of Kia used in the murder of YBC Duel. So, in other words, that whole Julius story was made up. He was the one that sold Aiden Waters the car. During the course of the investigation, search warrants were obtained for the cell phone of Rashawn Williams, as well as the social media accounts of Aiden Waters, Rashawn Williams, and Nair Briscoe. A review of these social media accounts revealed the explicit involvement of Waters, Williams, and Briscoe for the murder of YBC Duel, including pictures of the assault rifle and the Glock 9mm used during the commission of this murder. Detectives also executed a search warrant for any ring video at Aiden Waters' residence. That video was recovered and it depicts Aiden Waters' mother, identified as Latoya Donaldson, holding a dark rifle bag which appears to have a rifle inside of it, walking down the second floor of the residence to the first floor. She then goes from the first floor down to the basement and exits the rear of the house and hands the rifle bag to Rashawn Williams, who then gets into the white Kia Sportage, which was then used in the murder of YBC Duel. Latoya Donaldson is the registered account holder on the ring account and was present during the initial search when the 9mm handgun that was also used in the murder was found and when Aiden was arrested. Latoya Donaldson got busted in October for drug possession, receiving stolen property, and having a weapon she could use to commit a crime. That case is still ongoing. Also, court records show she was found guilty of a bunch of shoplifting charges between 2009 and 2018, which landed her in jail for a few months.
Shit like J.R. Smith, that nigga claim we ops, whole time we not walk down, start banging the switch.
Big up, start blowing the switch and start shaking this shit when them bullets start hitting like bricks. Fuck is you dumb? Y'all niggas stop the car at the light when the Drake start spinning. Get up close with the button, and I'm hawking him down from the rape. Some said, give me that gun, you a little ass boy, you don't know what to do with that shit. Big ass 762's head lit up the car, shit damn near blow up the whip. Too many bad bitches in this room and they all look good, I don't know who to pick. Walk down, start banging the switch. Can't duck the switch. Big back door, nigga like, give me that gun, you know we ain't swapping no blitz. Quick run down big from the rip, stand over top and start flooding shit. Get up close when bro start banging the Drake, that shit almost broke his wrist. Why the fuck is you running? Fast break, jump out the V, step back, drop 30 on a nigga like Jalen Brunson. Bro get back, but we drop like 100, 200 plus when we come to the function. Nigga been dead, but we had stood over when all them bullets start hitting his muffin. Said that boy, niggas you dumb? Why would you stop your car at the light when the Drake start dumping? When we send a blitz, everybody get hit.
The question always comes back to why YBC Duel was killed. Well, as we all know, he had ops and enemies all over the city. Who killed him is becoming less and less of a mystery. But the why is what's puzzling people. Fast Break, as I mentioned earlier, is from way on the other side of the city from where YBC's turf is. However, you have to remember that Philly is a relatively small city. Population-wise, 1.5 million is a lot, but the area that Philly covers is very small compared to, say, New York or Los Angeles. So people are basically living on top of one another in Philly, and it's so easy to have 1 degree of separation from people you've never even seen before. Gang alliances are loose in Philly, and just because someone claims this gang or that gang or this block or this set doesn't mean they don't have family in another gang, for instance. What I think I've boiled it down to is that the Fast Break young boys were paid to kill Duel by one of his main ops, and since the arrest happened so soon after, I don't even think the full payments were made to these young boys. And they were so willing to do it because, unfortunately, if you kill somebody like YBC Duel who has a name on the streets, then in turn, you will get a name on the streets. And that's how it's gone for years.
Niggas rent paid for a year.
Hey yo, it's that stupid. Yo, keep it though. Is these rappers out here really doing what I'm doing, bro?
Bro, a lot of niggas don't got the funds and shit to do what we doing, bro. No bullshit.
Like,
and y'all can say whatever y'all want. We getting paid off different niggas and saying niggas' names.
Well, Lord, I get paid off this niggas' name.
We get paid off
y'all
niggas' names.
Every time I say one of y'all niggas' name, I make $100. Every time I say Rizzy name, Bean gets sent to my cash app.
No bullshit.
Rizzy, I just made $300.
Every time I talk about a bite,
fuck.
My distro can't go up.
Dickheads. Y'all niggas is retarded, bro.
Cuz
I'm about to
popping
show
this,
y'all.
I'm out here.
Swerve down, try to catch a shower. My 4G's bad for niggas. The day we got back for TO, I bounced out laughing, nigga. Fuck a fast break. We don't play with kids. We get a belt to kill us.
Nigga, I'm with BB Hound. You ain't no touching me. I'm clicky outside. No bullshit. I know what we be on for me. I know what we. For me. Get down or lay down, nigga. What do you say? Yeah, boy.
Skyfox over Philadelphia's Feltonville neighborhood today. Earlier, a teenager was shot and killed steps from his home. This is the 5,000 block of Rohrer Street, about 8 this morning, and we're learning the 17-year-old was on his way to school. All after-school sports and activities have been canceled tonight at Samuel Fells High School, where the student was a senior. The teenager was with his mother at the time. And Kelly, what else are you learning from this tragedy?
Well, Jason, police and school officials are identifying the 17-year-old tonight as Noah Scurry. He's described here at the high school as a great student and athlete. His family understandably was not ready to talk today. Police say they do believe he was targeted, but have not said why.
I just saw him yesterday too. Like, it's crazy to think about.
Sophomore Muhammad Al-Faki leaves a solemn day of school at Samuel Fells High School. All after-school activities canceled today and men's basketball games canceled this week due to the killing of a teammate and senior, identified by police and district officials as 17-year-old Noah Scurry.
It's a horrible day. This is something that no one imagined. The student, according to police, was getting in the car on his way to school behind his house with his mom. So this is something that is quite unimaginable.
Police say it all happened in an alleyway behind Rohrer Street, just off Roosevelt Boulevard, around 7 this morning. At least 20 shots fired in what they believe was a targeted attack. There was a backpack left in the middle of the crime scene, surrounded by shell casings, and tires of nearby parked cars blown out. A letter sent home to parents from the school principal said Scurry scored the highest among the Fells community on the SAT tests.
The student who was killed was exceptional. No problems from him whatsoever, according to the principal and other staff members. As you might imagine, they are distraught.
Scurry's mom surrounded by loved ones today, including the basketball coach and other staff from the high school. Grief counselors were also on site and will be as needed, according to district officials. Students say they could feel the impact all day.
When you saw him around, like, you knew he brought good energy to everybody.
Whenever he entered a room, the room always lit. You know, it was always a smile on somebody's face when they were around them. He had a whole future ahead of him, too. It's scary to think about.
Now, again, police say this is an active and ongoing investigation. The district saying tonight they are committed to working with police, elected officials, and others on the urgent need to tackle gun violence in the city. Jason.
Kelly Rule, thank you very much.
I'm really bony though.
You know what the fuck going on. My little broski needing newbies. He like hawking niggas down, giving belt to ass. All out from stepping out of bounds. Gotta put a leash on.
Teenager is gunned down in an alleyway behind his home. Noah Scurry is being remembered for his performance both in the classroom and on the basketball court. Games have now been canceled for the rest of the week as the school community mourns his death. It is Tuesday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News tonight is the search for whoever killed Noah Scurry this morning. The 17-year-old shot and killed right in his Feltonville neighborhood.
Action News' Walter Perez live for us now outside Samuel Fells High School in Oxford Circle, where Scurry was a student. Walter.
That's right, Sarah and Brian. This one really a tragedy all the way around. A true scholar athlete has been killed, and tonight investigators say they do not know the motive and no suspects have been named. This is video of Noah Scurry doing what he loved, playing basketball for Fells High School. But district officials say he was much more than just a star athlete.
The student who was killed was exceptional. He scored remarkably high on his SATs. The star basketball player on the team here.
Investigators say it was right around 7:15 this morning as Noah was getting on his way to school when he was shot repeatedly outside of his house on the 50-100 block of Rohrer Street. The beloved 17-year-old was quickly taken to the hospital and pronounced dead a short time later. School officials say all basketball-related activities, including games, are now canceled for the week, and grief counselors have been made available to students at Samuel Fells High. We spoke with some of Scurry's classmates who say that Noah truly was one of the good guys.
When you saw him around, like, you knew he brought good energy to everybody.
He was really smart too. Whenever he entered a room, the room always lit. You know, it was always a smile on somebody's face when they were around them. It's so sad to think that he died.
Once again, Noah Scurry was only 17 years old. Anyone with further information is asked to contact the police. Reporting live from Oxford Circle, Walter Perez, Channel 6, Action News. Sarah?
Walter, thank you.
I really be outside, bro. A lot of niggas don't want to bump into us, bro. Like a lot of, I don't got no rent. A lot of niggas don't want to bump into us, bro. Like, y'all niggas be drawn. Yo, y'all boyfriends don't look better than me, real shit, and they don't got more money than me, no cap.
Shots giving nigga anxiety. Where I'm from, shit get left in the alley. Do beg for help and got left at the poppies. How they show bloody and get back about him. When the hell shark teeth on the shells. If I hear a bike run through, you get in the boat.
Less than 1,000 feet from where Joker was killed, 6 months later, it was 19-year-old Nasir Johnson who would meet his end on the streets of Philly. The 19-year-old, known as Sear, was getting out of an Uber with his girlfriend when 3 masked gunmen got out of a vehicle and shot at him more than 30 times with shell casings from 3 different guns found at the crime scene. He was taken to Temple University where he died around 3:55 in the afternoon.
Tell me the victim's girlfriend, she's pregnant. When they walked outside for their ride share, 3 men showed up, all in masks, and started shooting. Philadelphia police were called to the 700 block of Jericho Street just after 3:30 for a shooting. A woman who neighbors tell Action News is the victim's pregnant girlfriend was crying on the ground next to him.
Just saying, yeah, they just came out, they just shot him. Came out of nowhere type deal. I was inside.
Boaz Kim was one of the neighbors who heard the gunshots and called 911.
Around 3:30 or so, I just heard really like loud banging.
I just hear the gunshot, that's it.
According to police, an adult male victim was rushed to Temple Hospital and pronounced dead shortly after. Neighbors tell Action News 3 men in masks fired at the victim. At least 32 shell casings were left behind. 1 bullet struck the rear passenger door.
Rapid fire.
Quick.
Yes, very quick.
Ring video captures groups of neighbors rushing in to help after the shooting.
It's scary here in Philadelphia. It's crazy out here.
She said that she was being walked out by him to her Uber car. Right when they opened up the door of the Uber, then 3 masked people came out and just shot and then drove away.
So far, no arrests have been made. Homicide is now investigating. We're live outside of Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Brianna Gallagher for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Gray.
Yeah, violent and frightening situation playing out there. Thank you, Brianna, for the update.
His girlfriend, who police didn't identify, luckily was not injured in the shooting and ended up talking to police. The 3 gunmen fled in a black car. And once again, this murder is unsolved. The legal fallout from the NorthEast war is staggering in its volume and its youth. Aiden Waters, at 16, awaits trial for a sprawling mass casualty shooting, among other murders he's charged with. His mother, Latoya Donaldson, faces ongoing legal proceedings after being captured supplying the weapon used to murder YBC Dole. Fast Break affiliates Anal Bugs and Lil Ryan remain incarcerated for the murder of Chris Dowling. Yet, for all the arrests, the structural damage to Northeast Philadelphia is permanent. The clinical data on PTSD indicates that the psychological wounds in these neighborhoods will persist for decades. The music to murder pipeline I mentioned at the beginning continues to churn, utilizing stolen Kias, switches, and scoreboards to convince teenagers that taking a life or losing their own is simply part of the game. Noah Scurry and many others who get caught up in these beefs had the intellect to be anything they wanted. Instead, their name was added to a master docket of the deceased, leaving a community to mourn a brilliant mind swallowed by an unforgiving street war. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Thanks for watching American Confidential, and until next time, be safe.
Section of 59th and Carlo Hill. You can see crime scene tape also around 8 Brothers Food Market at the intersection. Bullets shattered part of the front window. inside say none of them were hurt. They did not want to talk on camera, but say police came by to look at surveillance video. They say stored cameras didn't capture anything.
Smoking 30 with my bitch, he dodged all up his fist. We the ones that rap the rappers up, we nasty on them skits. Take that shit down to the walls, I get mad and I'll blick. Tay died on a bike, we smoke his dumb ass out the zip. I like to slide when I get mad, the bro said I'ma crash. I like the world, love the world, whip we said that shit was trash. And I don't want her John Stalker, we shot him in his ass. I catch a baby boy with his dad, I'm hopping right on ass. We like to kill her at her feet, the y'all put shit to sleep. I don't wanna talk till they shit grease, the boy I want creep. I fuck they bitches and they mad, that's why they want beef. I want them west and made a mess and chase them niggas up the street. Smoke a break, nigga, Molly and snitch. We call Saudi Pippin, wild, no more flip this whip. Fuck you for my car, we get up close and taste. Say chief your name one more time, I'm breaking out the Drake. Your man died for all that clutching, bro, cold awake and bacon. Any nigga move the wrong way, I'm shooting up his face. You tap the button to the right, you aim it, then you pacing. Just so fucking scared, they got up close and bust the nigga face. And little bro, juvenile, so he gon' take the case and free kill bill, the real deal. They broke his shit on tape. I caught a nigga without my mask and told screaming a blick. If I got your op anywhere, I'm laying off the switch. 30 moms still sad and young will in the diss, so I don't wear no fucking murder talk. We turn them niggas Vicks. We in them cars from afar, but we in broad day. And let me get a drop on white boy, you gon' turn to murder May. God think it's that slick, but I know where you stay. If I don't got no V, use our free me and God the day.
But this pound faster. Nigga tried to work his legs so the kid go run down faster. Now let's talk facts. We go whack for whack, we 3 up on them. Bullets to his back, that shit was DOA when we start blowing. I been getting wrecked, this shit ain't nothing new, they been knowing. Ryan strike, but I still hot right out this bitch and fry you.
Gun smoke, don't push me to the edge. You die from some shit you said. I see where my homies dead. Hit his heart, he hold his chest up, his other hand is like a pledge. Take a fucking pledge to my flag, bitch nigga.
Fully hit him, don't try duck the switch when this bitch shoot. ARP be stopped on my jeans, this bitch take down the moose. Nigga tried to duck it, but can't duck it. We took off his roof. Broski grabbed the Drake, this bitch got wood, it look like baby Groot. Acting crazy on them socials, you get bent for that. Niggas talking about he whacking shit, bitch I been away. My man just caught another beat, his dude can't sit with that. They try to take my nigga out, man, I can't sit with that.
Remember we was running around with ghosties, we ain't had no factories. We was doing drills on feet before we hopped out of scatties. We was always on go, we ain't never need a battery. And I always keep my chin up like my cousin Natalie. That's cool, you got a V8, we got 8 different V's. Y'all still trying to argue, whole time we turn your man to weed. 56 and matching, ain't scoring 3 years, they out the league. No trying to talk money, it was 2,000 for my jeans. I can see myself at the Sixers game sitting front row. 267 backwards is what my gun holds. You think your bitch just my friend, nigga, use a Dumbo. She asked me at her pussy, I think this bitch smoking gumbo. I can never lack, I go everywhere where my gun go. You ain't never spin and go deaf when a gun blow. I hit him in his leg and it made that nigga run slow. I know a nigga that died and he can't see his son grow. Bro already made a half a ticket on his new phone. I made a K in a day and I only sold like 2 zones. Bro found out where he learned that, now he shooting up school zones. They ain't never get back, that's why I keep putting them in new songs. 2023 I was tweaking, this year I'ma calm down. A nigga diss me, I watch him get hit with large rounds. We was in the V6 deep strap with all pounds. Y'all play with us and we drew blood, so yeah, y'all down. Bro always trying to get close, he be trying to race the face. The way they zip that nigga up, I thought the body bag was bait. Soon as 12 turn on the lights, I'm in spurts more on the chase. Brace about the plane, I don't know why he say he like the taste. Bro just caught the 10 and hit a nigga and knocked off his waist. I can't hang with bitch niggas cause I'm far out of place. Bitch he trying to link, I'm busting traps. Bitch you can wait. Caught a nigga lacking, he got left like he was late. Y'all niggas couldn't fuck with me even when I was playing ball. This one I be popping shit, yeah, Vicky just be getting off. This nigga from the OB talking crazy, but that nigga soft. I don't know why y'all rapping like y'all up, y'all know what we did to your
body shitting, we like chasing Vicks. You broke bad, take a risk, then over top and null his face. The citizen said the nigga hit. Bitch, I'm scary crazy, I still drop all my 4s on them skits. You blitzed the corner with the nick, the 10 was tagging him in his shit. They dropped the disc before a body, like why the fuck they in a war?
You can try to run, but you know these bullets fast. What's his name was trying to see a bitch, we got up on that ass. If you fucking with them guys, then fuck with us, we get something out. All that trolling on the day before he died, he's talking about. Caught a body on that glizzy, then I went to go swap out. They keep saying they outside, let's go see what they block about. On a lick, he shot some fishy, their little dick, he gets it up. I could talk about them jokes, but niggas know what's up with us. I like fucking our bitches, cause when we done, get Addies up. I'm just smoking what's
I really be outside, bro. A lot of niggas don't want to bump into us, bro. Like, a lot of, I don't got new rent. A lot of niggas don't want to bump into us, bro. Like, y'all niggas be drawn.
Forever scurry, nigga mirror on that block, keep bleeding out, they screaming hurry. Wake performing with that Glock on area, op that boy like Curry. Said they gon' kill us, we ain't worried. Walk up, blowing the button, the nigga got hit in his muffin, them niggas was hurting. We jump out school, niggas keep screaming school, cause bullets was tearing his face. We the ones clearing the room every time I hop in the fuck, so we go out spin.
it get darker, I like 9, but them 40 bullets, they gon' come out larger. Cook think he was on that side, he wasn't even the main target. We been blowing the ops out, ever since the beach just started. Stole over top, they hit his head, toast time, that's cold hearted. How the fuck I cracking force, y'all ain't do nothing to the side. Every time I'm trying to score a bucket, all they do is hide.
Now to a developing story in Philadelphia's Somerdale neighborhood. Police say a man was shot multiple times and killed just steps from a corner store. A second man was shot in the arm but survived.
And police have not yet announced any arrests in the killing. Still no word on a motive, Shawnette.
That's correct, Jason. No motive, no weapon recovered, and tonight the suspects remain at large. And as you mentioned, we have a teenager dead and an innocent bystander hurt.
The crime scene consists of at least 31 spent shell casings.
Shots fired at this intersection of North Folk Rod and Somerdale. The victim, police say, an 18-year-old, targeted and ambushed. He died at Einstein Hospital.
He was shot from a very, very close distance, and he was in fact targeted.
It happened around 5:40 this evening. Police say the shooters drove up, got out of a dark-colored SUV, and shot the teen throughout his body. A pool of blood and clothing remained on the corner hours later as homicide detectives processed the scene.
We know at least 2 shooters were involved.
A man we're not identifying says he drove through that intersection just seconds before and heard something hit the back of his car as he got about 30 feet away.
Like, bah! So I kept on going, normal, because I thought it was all right. But when I go home and I check, it was a bullet hole. I'm like, wow.
He says he then saw on the news what happened and came back to the scene to let police know. That's also when he found out someone was killed by the gunfire.
Imagine I would have got off and just to check, I probably would have got hit too.
Police say a 64-year-old man walking in the area at the time of the shooting was also hit in the arm by a stray bullet. He was taken to Einstein, and police say he's expected to be okay. The gunman got away. Police are checking the area for surveillance video, including this convenience store that closed early following the shooting.
That's bad, man. It's crazy. You can't even go nowhere, drive nowhere, and get shoot out everywhere.
And police have not released the victim's name. They do, however, say that he was known to 2nd District Police. They would not say how or why, but they did say they knew him from previous encounters. No word tonight, Jason, on who wanted him dead and why. Very sad.
All right, Shawnette Wilson, thank you very much.
Dude tried to walk on Somerdale and got his melon split and tried to get away. It ain't the Crocs, the button meeting.